Decades have passed since alien monsters invaded Earth. Bizarre creatures resembling dragons from another world. Their razor-sharp fangs could shred any prey in an instant. The apocalypse had arrived. Millions of monsters poured through spatial rifts, destroying everything in their path. The last remaining warriors, survivors of these dark days, now gather for one final stand. Kabuna, the Dragon Emperor, leads the charge. His body is covered in wounds, fresh blood seeping from his brow, yet his will remains unbroken. The only way to end this war is to destroy their ruler. The city lies in ruins, consumed by a sea of fire under a suffocating sky. Humanity has one last chance. A final counterattack. Behind the monster legion, the alien ruler floats in midair. Its colossal, grotesque form is framed by the brilliant light of a magic sigil. With arms outstretched and mouth agape, it gathers a blinding sphere of demonic energy. Its face, a mask of pure evil, prepares to unleash utter destruction. In a flash, a massive wave of energy surges forward, obliterating everything in sight. The ground shatters. The air itself trembles, and a vast expanse of land is instantly turned to molten lava, a burning scar of devastation. Rage boiled within Leo. He was ready to charge in for revenge. "You bastard! There's nothing left to lose anyway," he roared. "I'll kill you." But before he could finish, another squad member stopped him. "Stop, Leo." He then saw Kabuna, who was on the verge of collapse. His right arm was completely mangled. A wound on his side bled freely, yet he still stood firm. Leo looked at him, his voice filled with concern. "Kabuna, you're not okay." "Your arm." Kabuna gritted his teeth, forcing himself to stay calm. "I'm fine." After witnessing the ruler's terrifying power, Kabuna had already calculated the most viable plan. But facing it with humanity's current strength was impossible. The only option left was that. But Leo still couldn't accept it. Behind them, a female mage held up a purple gem that pulsed with a mysterious energy. "This is the Chrono Stone," she announced. "It is humanity's last hope, an invention from the end of the 20-year war. The one who wields the power of this stone can return to the past one single time." Kabuna looked at Leo, his eyes filled with resolve. "Only one person can use the stone, and, if someone must go, it has to be you, Leo." Hearing this, Leo froze, his eyes wide with disbelief. He couldn't process what he was hearing. Seconds ticked by, but the world around him had come to a standstill. His thoughts were completely blank. His three comrades smiled at him, their gazes unwavering. They were betting their lives on him. "You're a once-in-a-century genius hunter. You are the only one who can do this. The fate of 8 billion people rests in your hands." He clenched his fists, the pain of loss gnawing at his soul. Gritting his teeth, his voice was low but certain. "All right." The Chrono Stone levitated, unleashing intense magical power as a purple light enveloped Leo's body. He took one last look at his comrades, a sad, worried smile on his face. "I hope we can all meet again in the next life." His words left them speechless, their eyes filled with overwhelming emotion. This moment meant they would never see Leo again. A blinding light shot from the Chrono Stone, piercing straight through Leo's chest. He spread his arms wide, accepting the destiny he now carried. His body vanished into a vortex of light, carrying humanity's will and hope back through time, towards an unwritten future. In the end, the female mage cradled Leo's body. Where his heart should have been, there was only a gaping hole left by the stone. "He's gone," she whispered. Kabuna let out a faint smile, a sense of peace settling over him. Standing in the middle of a brutal battlefield, he somehow felt a weight lift from his shoulders. Kabuna showed no sadness. "That hope is his to carry now," he said. "Our part is finished." But the mage shook her head, her eyes resolute. "No. We still have one last mission." In the distance, the alien ruler stood, unbothered. It was reveling in its absolute victory and domination. Below, the monster army roared, ready to surge forward. Kabuna's voice was low, but powerful. "Yes, there's still a long road ahead." With that, they both tightened their grip on their weapons and charged toward the enemy without a hint of hesitation. This would be their final battle, a battle to prove that even in death, they would fight until their very last breath. A new beginning. Time reverses. Towering skyscrapers once again stand tall. A modern world, still intact. No monstrous roars, no rubble, no smell of blood. Beep, beep, beep. An alarm clock rings. A piercing sound screamed through the air, followed by a furious shout. "Ah, damn it all." Duhok tumbled out of bed, his eyes scanning the familiar room. The blankets were a mess, clothes draped over a chair, and his desk was cluttered as always. His eyes widened as an unbelievable feeling washed over him. Where am I? This is my old room. Not some blood-soaked battlefield. Not under the heel of those terrifying rulers. He had returned. Duhok clenched his fists, whispering softly, "Thank God. I came back at the perfect time. I have 7 months before the invasion begins." His gaze sharpened, looking down at his own clean hands as he thought to himself, "Until that day, I have to forge this body into a weapon and stockpile resources to prepare for the war." He reached for the jacket hanging on a hook, the immense weight of his mission settling on his shoulders. Duhok told himself, 8 billion lives depend on me. He quickly threw on his coat and rushed out the door. Duhok swore inwardly, "This time, I absolutely will not let that tragedy happen again. I will awaken during the very first outbreak. But before that moment arrives, this body needs to be trained to withstand that awakening power." 7 months later, atop Bukhansan Mountain, the sky was a brilliant blue, with sunlight pouring down over the sprawling green hills. Duhok stood alone before a cliff face, his eyes fixed on a single point in space. He spoke to the empty air. "The time has finally come. 1 minute and 30 seconds left." Clenching his fist, he thought, "A cosmic wormhole will appear right here, on Bukhansan. My body is far from its peak condition, but I've at least met the minimum requirements. Now, there's only 1 minute to go. When the wormhole opens, a colossal wave of mana will flood the earth, covering everything. It will baptize human bodies, forcing them to awaken. It opens the mana channels within the body. Those who successfully accept it will become beings far beyond ordinary humans." Duhok checked his weapon one last time. He knew exactly what was coming next. The very first invaders to arrive in Korea. They'll be giant ants and disgusting four-legged cockroaches. Horrifying memories suddenly flooded his mind. A city in flames, the desperate screams of hopeless people. At the peak of his power, Duhok could have crushed these creatures like stepping on bugs. But right now, even 5 or 6 newly awakened hunters would struggle against just one of them. He muttered, "But I'm different." This time, Duhok was prepared. He took a deep breath, slowly counting down. 5, 4. His muscles tensed, his heart rate skyrocketing. It's about to open. 3, 2, 1. Duhok raised his fist, ready to destroy anything that appeared. He held his crowbar at the ready, prepared for battle. But nothing happened. The space before him remained unnervingly silent. A single, lazy crow flapped its wings, flying past and shattering the tense atmosphere he had built. Duhok stood completely frozen. He grimaced, trying to hide his embarrassment. "Maybe there's a margin of error of about 10 seconds. No problem, I'll just wait a bit." Duhyok's little bit of waiting lasted until nightfall. Cold raindrops began to fall, soaking his hair and his clothes. 10 hours had passed. Duhok collapsed to his knees, his hands balled into tight fists. Damn it. What the hell? 10 hours. What in the world is going on? He desperately tried to deny the reality before his eyes. "I must have miscalculated the day. That's it. Tomorrow. I'll come back tomorrow." But tomorrow turned into a week, and 1 week turned into 2. Duhok waited for so long that he began to look like a mountain hermit, with a scruffy beard and dark circles under his sleep-deprived eyes. Hikers would occasionally pass by, staring at him with a mixture of curiosity and caution. "Oh my God, look at that guy. Is he a student? What is that kid doing here? Don't get too close. He looks completely insane." Duhok remained silent, his soulless eyes staring into the void. Nothing happened. An entire month passed, and Duhok was still kneeling there, as motionless as a statue. But one thing had changed. He now reeked, and grass had started to grow on his clothes. The mountain climbers began treating him like a scenic landmark. "Whoa. Is that the legendary Bukhansan statue? Come on, kids. Let's get closer and take a souvenir photo." Hordes of tourists began to arrive. Within just half a year, Duhok had officially become a living legend. He was now a true forest ascetic, his long hair covering his neck, a shaggy beard completely obscuring his face. The media started reporting on him, and social media platforms exploded with his image. Live streams of the holy man meditating on Bukhansan were getting millions of views. Parents of high school students began to pray to him, asking him to bless their children so they could pass their college entrance exams. In an ordinary house, a middle-aged woman watching the news suddenly froze. "Wait a minute, isn't that my son?" The girl next to her screamed, "Mom, that's him." The woman's eyes went wide, her face turning pale. "Good heavens, what is that boy doing up there?" The world remained inexplicably peaceful. A cheerful voice suddenly called out, "I found you, Duhok." Not long after, the savior of mankind, Lee Duhok, was dragged down the mountain. 3 months later, at a construction site, a man in a hard hat yelled from above, "Hey, did that kid Lee Duhok not show up?" Below, a young man was carrying a sack. Simon replied urgently, "He's on his way now." The man in question was Lee Duhok, the legendary former war god. the great savior of humanity. In my past life, I was given countless titles during my 10 years as a hunter. Throwing a punch into the air, he was lost in memories of his glorious past. But now, he had become nothing more than a day laborer. Standing in the middle of the crowd, Duhok looked up at the sky. The humiliation was crushing. How could he ever face the people who once called him the war god? How did one of the greatest heroes fall to become a common mover? 6 months of waiting, and the apocalypse never came. There were no awakenings, no individuals possessing supernatural powers. There were no world-shaking battles between humans and monsters. This world was completely different from the one he once knew. Duhok lowered his head in silence. He couldn't wrap his head around this bizarre situation. The theory of multiverses or parallel worlds had always been a distant hypothesis. But now, he was the living proof. He had fallen into another world. A world that didn't need him. He suddenly realized a critical fact. The outbreak never happened. In any case, this was a blessing for this world. He looked up at the deep blue sky. Everything he had been through, all the sacrifices of the resistance forces, it had all become a distant dream. Duhok took a deep breath, spreading his arms to embrace the warm sunlight. Maybe I should just enjoy this peace for a while. Just then, his phone buzzed. Ding dong, the savior of the world, and his mountain of debt, huh? A flood of notifications shattered his philosophical mood. Ding. A bank. Mr. Lee Do-hyuk, your installment loan of 2,384,665 won is scheduled for payment on the 30th. Ding ding. BIS Capital, your loan is now past due. Mr. Lee Do-hyuk, as of July 2024, 146,948 won is overdue. Ding ding ding. 265 Hope Loan Management. Dear Mr. Lee Do-hyuk, please remit 450,000 won before 6 p.m. today. A cold sweat ran down Do-hyuk's back. When it rains, it pours. A short time later, at the Lee family home, a tense girl's voice cut through the air. Appa, sit down for a minute. Do-hyuk sighed. What is it now? The girl immediately exploded. What do you mean? What is it now? What on earth have you been doing lately? You're unemployed, but you're always disappearing somewhere. It was Jian, Do-hyuk's younger sister. She pointed an angry finger in his face. You think I don't know? You've been buying weird things like gas masks and other random junk. Don't tell me you joined some pyramid scheme. Her face was a mask of pure irritation. Seeing the suspicion in his sister's eyes, Do-hyuk instinctively backed away. But before he could speak, Jian grabbed him by the collar. Her voice was filled with fury. A year ago, you suddenly left home, saying what? That the world was about to end? You stockpiled millions worth of supplies in the basement. Do you have any idea how worried Mom was? Do-hyuk was speechless, unable to argue back. He wanted to cry, but no tears came. Damn it, how was I supposed to know the apocalypse wouldn't happen? Flashing back to the past, a fateful meeting of the resistance around a campfire. Kabuna, one of the resistance's most powerful warriors, was laying out the plan before Do-hyuk returned. First, we're going to borrow money. Do-hyuk raised an eyebrow. Money? For what? Kabuna nodded with absolute conviction. Yes, borrow everything you can, from any source you can, even from loan sharks. And then Kabuna flashed a grin, his expression both innocent and dangerous. After that, who cares? Do-hyuk was shocked. Huh? Kabuna clapped him on the shoulder, his tone deeply philosophical. Once the outbreak happens, the world ends anyway. Who's going to collect debts in the middle of an apocalypse? Back then, the entire squad believed in this plan, without a doubt. Returning to the present, the world didn't end, and now, it probably never would. Do-hyuk gritted his teeth. Damn it all. Why did I listen to Kabuna's insane plan? He couldn't just ignore the money he'd borrowed. Jian crossed her arms with a huff. What are you so proud of? But despite her anger, she was still his sister. She sighed, then made an offer. All right, fine. You're working odd jobs to pay off that pyramid scheme mess, right? Why don't you help me with my live streams instead? I'll pay you. Do-hyuk was baffled. Huh? That thing you do where you wear weird stuff on your head? Jian nodded firmly. Yes. I need to win this 2-player game, and I need your help. From the savior of humanity to his sister's slave. Do-hyuk blinked in disbelief, pointing at himself. Me? But I've never done anything like that before. Jian sighed again, looking at him with a mixture of exasperation and trust. You're good at sports? You'll adapt quickly. Besides, you're the only person I can ask. I have no other choice. Do-hyuk gave a helpless nod. All right, fine. But how much can you possibly make from live streaming? Jian replied calmly. 15 million. Do-hyuk froze. What? Without another word, Jian held her phone out in front of him. Displayed on the screen was an unbelievable revenue chart. In just a few short months, her income had already reached 15 million, millions a month. If you cooperate, I'll split it with you. 50-50. Duhyok's entire body froze, his hand instinctively flying up to shield his eyes. Before him stood not his sister, but a dazzling angel. My God, he thought, my little sister is literally glowing. And with that, Lee Do-hyuk officially became his sister's slave. Inside the virtual reality pod, Jian turned to him. Ready to dive in? Do-hyuk, now fully geared up, nodded with pure excitement. Ready, master, Jian shouted, her own voice thrilled. Then let's begin. The moment she spoke, everything around them dissolved. Streaks of digital light flashed past as space itself began to shift. Welcome to ITQ. A short line of text materialized before them. Slay the couple, a world where you confront your enemies. Through farming, slay the couple. Difficulty, ultra high. We invite you to a world of pure terror. It was an insanely difficult horror adventure game, known across the web as the graveyard for new players. A system notification flashed. Players have spawned. As the light faded, Do-hyuk and Jian appeared in the middle of an empty field. The sky above was heavy and dark. Lightning constantly tore through the clouds, creating a sinister, eerie atmosphere. In front of them stood an old, dilapidated building. A system notification popped up. Game start. As dark clouds swirled, bolts of lightning rained down from the heavens. The space was dark and terrifying. A flock of black crows took flight, adding another layer of horror to the scene. Comments began to scroll across the screen. Let's go. Wow, they really made this abandoned house look seriously creepy. The two stood before the house, mentally preparing for whatever might happen next. Jian clung to his arm. In a weak voice, she whispered, Do-hyuk, you're staying right beside me. The live viewers laughed. Ha ha, what a chicken. If I had to do a courage challenge there, I'd probably start crying. I totally agree. He scanned the entire scene, making a quick assessment. He had no idea why everyone was overreacting. Is this place really that scary? That house looks perfect for a good night's sleep. Her body trembled as she clutched his hand, pleading, Do-hyuk, can we please go slower? Jian didn't even dare to open her eyes and look around. Do-hyuk started to move, thoughtfully reassuring his sister. Okay, just stick close to me. The viewers who saw this were completely in awe of his courage. Whoa, they're just walking in like it's nothing. Jian being scared is actually pretty cute, but is it really okay to just walk in like that? His foot landed softly on the first wooden step. At that very moment, a challenge prompt suddenly appeared before Do-hyuk. After receiving a letter from your missing ex-wife, you and your current wife arrive at the abandoned house where she disappeared. He was only slightly surprised, but stood his ground. Jian, however, jumped back and screamed. Something just popped up. He just frowned at the text, completely confused. His hand moved to the side, quickly tapping the screen. What is this? The system notification was instantly dismissed. Tutorial skipped. Jian completely exploded. With tears streaming down her face, she grabbed Do-hyuk's cheeks and hair, twisting his face into a mess. She shrieked, full of resentment. Hey, are you crazy? This game is already hard enough. Why would you skip the tutorial? He offered a weak, awkward smile, scratching his head as he tried to defend himself. Sorry, it was in the way, so I just clicked it without thinking. Jian fought to contain her rising fury. She powerlessly pinched the bridge of her nose. Whatever. It's my own fault for trusting a complete newbie. The live viewers were cracking up, finding the whole thing adorable. Haha, as if you're not a newbie yourself. Haha, classic double standard from Cutie Jian. Suddenly, Do-hyuk noticed a clue. Meanwhile, she had given up all hope on her useless brother and turned to the chat, sincerely begging the viewers for help. Anyway, guys, please give me some tips. I haven't watched a single guide. Someone joked, Ha, just die and learn as you go. But there were also some helpful comments. First, you need to farm for a weapon. Search the area for any clues. The key is the stun grenade. Most weapons aren't effective against the boss, so you should just focus on escaping. Jian sat on the steps with her back to him, intently reading the chat and taking meticulous notes. Okay, stun grenade, run from the boss. He paid no attention to her. Still staring blankly into the distance, the viewers continued to warn her. The most important thing is the difficulty setting. Whatever you do, do not choose reality mode. Suddenly, a system alert echoed through the empty space. Difficulty selection complete. Reality. The word flashed on Do-hyuk's screen. Normal mode. Reality mode. She was startled by the sudden situation, and the viewers were just as stunned. Huh? No way, reality mode? In absolute despair, Jian lunged forward and grabbed him by the collar. At this point, she deeply regretted ever asking for his help. Hey, you lunatic. What did you do this time? Why does this keep happening to me? Duhok hurriedly tried to explain. No, I just touched the doorknob to see if it would open. And then some weird thing popped up. The viewers were having the time of their lives watching this chaos. Haha, these two are like a comedy act. Haha, failing so hard on the first try is just pathetic. He knew he had made a huge mistake, so he stood stiffly in place, too guilty to say a word. Jian. She crumpled to the ground, burying her face in her hands. Over 1,000,000 world was bet on them clearing this first stage, but the viewers offered no sympathy, only mockery. Haha, a desperate Jan is actually pretty cute. Just then, 2 notifications flashed before them. User LU has requested a mission. 1,000,000 world to clear reality mode in 3 tries. Time remaining. 47 minutes and 59 seconds. User Guanchu has requested a mission. 50,000 world to clear reality mode with unlimited deaths. 47 minutes and 59 seconds left. They were completely backed into a corner. Their faces turned grim, bodies tensing for a life or death struggle. Diane placed a hand on his shoulder, his voice low. The great patrons Lu and Guanchu have spoken. Duhok cracked his knuckles, his spirit igniting. You're right, master. Despair is a luxury we can't afford. He took the lead, pushing the door open, unaware of the dangers lurking beyond. The livestream chat exploded with excitement. Ah ha ha, the desperate slaves of capitalism. Their despair can only be cured by cash. Look at that serious expression. The first thing that greeted them was a man in combat gear, hanging upside down. His eyes were dark, empty sockets, his face frozen in a silent scream. He must have endured something truly horrific before his end. His body was fixed to the ceiling. The gruesome sight froze. Du-hai, Hoken Jan in place. She shrieked, hiding behind him in terror. Ah, comments flew across the screen. The House of Screams. This is already getting good. Ha ha ha. Check behind the corpse. There should be a hand axe and a pistol. She ducked down, pushing the grim task onto her brother. Du-hyok, you do it. With his usual calm, he stepped forward to search the body. He then tossed the pistol to her. Here. Jan caught it on instinct, but then realized a critical problem. Ah, Du-hyok, I'm not good with guns. He held up the axe in his hand. Really? So you're more confident with an axe? You know you'll have to get in close and personal. Hearing that, her attitude instantly changed, sweat pouring down her face as she backpedaled. No. My dream has always been to be a gunslinger. Just as they armed themselves, the monsters suddenly appeared. One ambushed them from above. Jan froze on the spot, unable to react. The viewers went wild. There it is! The rookie killer! Nick Hacker! She screamed, hands flying to her face as she dodged. Du-hyok lunged forward to shield his sister, meeting the creature's razor-sharp pincer with his bare hand. The comment section became chaotic. Whoa, what the hell? He just blocked a Nick Hacker's attack with one hand, but he didn't just stop there. He brought the axe down with crushing force, severing its arm and spraying black blood everywhere. The Nick Hacker shrieked in agony, its piercing cry echoing through the room. Whoa, look, Du-hyok is using its own claw to stab it through the throat. It didn't even have a chance to fight back. The viewer's excitement hit a fever pitch. Insane. He took it down in a single combo, but as one fell, more swarmed in to take its place. They seemed endless. Even those watching felt the pressure mounting. Look over there. Turn around. More Nick Hackers are spawning. 3 more are rushing him. Du-hyok spotted their movements, gritting his teeth as he prepared to counter. The Nick Hackers opened their maws, revealing sharp, vicious fangs as they charged, ready to tear him apart. He bent his knees, launching himself forward to meet them head-on. Du-hyok moved like a flash of light, weaving between them. The axe in his hand became a blur, slicing them into pieces. Chunks of flesh rained down from the air. In that moment, he was the legendary hero from his past life. The netizens couldn't believe their eyes. Whoa, are you kidding me? Did I see that right? No way. Someone explain. I have no idea what just happened. The bodies of the Nick Hackers littered the floor. Du-hyok let out a refreshing sigh. It had been so long since he'd felt this power. The viewers breathed a collective sigh of relief. Our boy is safe. Phew. He slowly turned his head, his face splattered with the creature's blood, looking utterly terrifying. January. You must have been terrified, right? But this image made her mistake him for the enemy. In a panic, Jan aimed the gun at him and pulled the trigger. Ah! Instantly, a bloody hole appeared in his forehead. He never could have predicted that his life would end at the hands of his own sister. Oh my God! A system notification appeared. Mission failed. Player Duhok has died. He lost consciousness and collapsed to the floor with a thud. Jan's heart stopped. Finally realizing who she'd shot, she ran to him, crying hysterically. Appa, I'm sorry. It's all my fault, the system voice continued. Mission failed. Restarting. Reloading game. Exiting game. The comment section exploded with frenzied emotions. Holy. Ha. User military middle school gun has donated 1000 W. Ha ha ha. What did I just witness? Ha ha. This is a legendary comedy routine. In the real world, a shocked scream echoed from inside an apartment complex. No, there's no way he could take down a Nick hacker that easily. Break ORC, a famous horror game streamer, sat stunned in front of his computer. With a stunned expression, his voice quivered. In reality mode, just 2 neck hackers was his absolute limit. He couldn't accept this insane truth, his fingers flying across the keyboard to figure out how he'd killed 4 of them with a single hand axe. Wait a second. What was this guy's name again? As it loaded, electronic characters floated in the air. The figures of Duhok and Jian materialized on screen. Viewers were still watching the 2 of them. A total train wreck. Ha ha ha. I'm dying of laughter. Realizing the massive mess she'd made, she sheepishly tried to explain. Duhok, I'm so sorry. It was a total accident. He clenched his jaw, saying nothing as a vein throbbed on his neck. The audience found this hilarious. Look at his face. He's absolutely furious. Ha ha ha. He turned to Jian, his voice surprisingly gentle. It's okay, Jian. That last part was my fault. Her heart immediately soared. But his next move crushed all of her hopes. He angrily poked her forehead, scolding her. I should have never given a gun to an idiot like you. She sincerely promised. I said I'm sorry. I'll do better next time. Duhok suppressed a wave of pure rage. Pushing forward, he warned her grimly. There won't be a next time for you. Just stay behind me. We're moving fast now. Jian pouted as she trailed behind him. Humph. Let's just see what you can do without me. They were back at square one. Duhok carried her like a sack of luggage, while his other hand effortlessly wiped out the horde of HGs. Jian, the useless decoration, just stared in awe. Huh? The viewers cheerfully commented. Things move way faster when Jian doesn't do anything. Jian is such dead weight, LOL. She still hadn't recovered from the shock of it all. Her eyes wide and her jaw on the floor, Duhok just calmly continued to prove his incredible skill. See? I can handle all the fighting myself. To make things smoother, he'd already devised a plan. So for the next part, we're assigning roles. Jian was stunned and confused. Roles? Duhok put his hand on the door, ready to advance. As they continued the mission, he laid it out. I'll handle guns, close combat, item gathering, and scouting. Hearing that he was shouldering every task, she was baffled. Huh? Then what about me? He frowned with clear disdain. Be quiet. Just be the cheerleader. That's your only job. Got it? It was the only role that suited Jian. The viewers immediately agreed. Ha ha ha. Okay, support role confirmed. She screamed in frustration. Damn it. But this is my game. Why is my only job cheering? Duhok decided to treat her like she was invisible. All right, let's move out. Their dynamic was cracking everyone up. Ha ha ha. Look at him completely ignoring her. He decisively shoved the door open. The atmosphere on the other side was no better. Jian cried out in fear. Wait for me. The viewers were on the edge of their seats. All right, get ready. It's showtime. Brute. The final boss of this stage was Duhok's opponent. It was a towering, muscular beast. Its eyes glowed fiercely as a low growl rumbled in its throat. Jian, who was just complaining, suddenly shoved her brother forward without hesitation, using him as a shield. Ah, it's coming. He couldn't believe she'd put him in danger again. The brute roared, clenching its massive fist. It charged forward, aiming to pulverize Duhok. Thrown off balance, he stumbled backward. You idiot! Her hands moved faster than her brain. I'm sorry, she shrieked in panic. The viewers were just as done with her. Ha ha ha, another team kill attempt. Ha ha ha. I can't breathe. Luckily, Duhok dodged just in time. The beast's fist slammed down, shattering the ground. If he'd been 1 second slower, his head would have met the same fate. He planted a hand as a pivot, sweeping his leg to knock the brute off its feet. Its massive body crashed heavily onto the floor, and Duhok nimbly leaped onto its back. He decisively raised the axe, pouring all his strength into it. Compared to the era he had survived, a monster like this was nothing. The axe blade sliced through the brute's thick hide, and fresh blood sprayed everywhere. Duhok merely scoffed in disdain. The viewers still weren't used to his extraordinary power. Why is he treating the brute like some low-level mob? But the brute was incredibly tough. Just as expected, It pushed itself up to counterattack. The blade hadn't pierced its muscles, not with a simple hand axe. That's why most new players have no choice but to run away. Duhok remained perfectly calm, planning his counterattack. If it's not effective, then I'll just have to make it effective. He stomped down with all his might, driving the axe blade deep into the brute's flesh. The attack pierced its throat, even cracking the floor beneath. Its eyes rolled back as it lost consciousness. The comments flew by in a frenzy. Ah, a newbie just soloed the brute. Its massive body completely collapsed right in front of Jian. She quickly scrambled backward to avoid being crushed. A user has donated 1000 G. Did he really just kill it? Did I see that right? Her mouth hung wide open. She couldn't believe this was her brother, the person she'd always seen as useless. I don't know either. This is unbelievable. First time I've ever seen someone kill a brute with a hand axe. That thing isn't supposed to be an easy kill. Duhok heard the flood of comments. He looked genuinely puzzled. Huh? Why not? It was easy. The viewers tried to explain. Normally, only seasoned veterans could take it down. And only after a desperate battle, crying tears of blood. Someone in the chat guessed, "There's no way he's a rookie, right?" But Diane proudly replied, "No, he's brand new." Thinking she was lying, they provoked her. "If you're that confident, then show us his status window." Jan was ready to shut them all up. Fine then. Pull up your status window." Duhok simply complied. "Here, take a look." The screen displayed his play history. Kills, 2. Playtime, 6 hours. Total stats, 134. The netizens were floored. What? He seriously hasn't even played for a full day. Whoa, wait, forget that. Look at this. Their attention locked onto the most critical number, 134. No way, his total stats are 134? Duhok watched their frantic chatter with a blank expression. When the game starts, even pro players only hit about 125. 140 is considered the absolute human limit. And what's the current world record? 147. But his physical stats left them even more speechless. Oh my god. Everyone, look at the detailed breakdown. Left-right balance, static and dynamic control, coordination. It's all in the top 0.1%. The viewers were in awe. Holy crap, top 0.1%. And you're a rookie? A satisfied smile crept across Duhok's face. This was proof that all his hard work hadn't been in vain. So, all that grueling training for the apocalypse, it had finally paid off. Diane gritted her teeth, tears welling in her eyes. Just how much did they torture him in that multi-level hell? How could a human body possibly reach this state? A wave of pity washed over her. Did you even eat properly in there? Duhok was taken aback by her sudden outburst. What's wrong? Moved, she made a promise. I swear, from now on, I'm going to take good care of you. A system notification popped up. Break ORC has donated 10,001. Whoa, that's impressive. Jan paused, wiping her tears away in surprise. Wait, Break ORC? Are you the Break ORC? The chat exploded. The legendary player who discovered the first hidden route in Wipe Them Out had just shown up. Duhok was confused by the term. A hidden route? Someone in the chat kindly explained. Normally, the brute is just a plot device designed to capture the player and move the story forward. Clips of you fighting it are still all over the internet. But Break ORC was the very first player to actually kill one, unlocking that hidden route. Although, he had to try 7 times with every weapon in the game. It was honestly brutal to watch. Haha. He rubbed his chin, giving an objective assessment. 7 times, huh? Well, I guess not everyone is a natural at gaming. I mean, if someone just isn't very good at the game, that could happen, right? The chat absolutely loved his comment. LOL. Break ORC is officially a noob now. Haha. Only a savage like Duhok would say something like that. The real Break ORC watched the comments roll in, forcing a smile. Not good at games? Haha. Haha. The replay of the fight was on his screen. He was skeptical. How could someone who's never played this game, or even tried full-dive virtual reality before, defeat a brute with a single hand axe? Break. ORC's fingers flew across the keyboard. I was just gonna watch for a bit and log off. But maybe I should turn this into some content. A new notification instantly appeared. Break ORC has donated 10,001, if you don't mind. Could I give you a quest? Just trying to have a little fun on stream. Haha. Diane tilted her head, curious. A quest? What kind is it? Break ORC has requested a 1,000,000 won quest. Clear the game using only a hand axe. No other weapons allowed. Time remaining. 47 minutes and 50 seconds. In return, I'll legally restream your channel. Dion jumped up, cheering with excitement. 1,000,000 won. Duhok quietly gave a thumbs up in agreement. The chat was buzzing, but clearing the whole game with just a hand axe? Forget the brute, what about the main boss? ORC, don't you think you're going a little overboard? The game wasn't just filled with humanoid enemies, but all kinds of other monsters too. They came in countless forms, but they all had one thing in common. They were vicious and deadly. To beat all of them with just that tiny hand axe, you might as well be telling him to give up on clearing the game entirely. Break ORC had to agree. He reconsidered his original offer. Maybe the hand axe is a bit too harsh. How about a crowbar or a chainsaw instead? A system chime echoed through the room. Quest complete. Break. ORC has donated 1,000,000 won. Duhok was frozen in shock. His finger was still pointing at the empty air. Wait, that was a mistake. Jan was practically fuming with rage. Appa, what did you just do? He stammered, trying to explain himself. I was trying to accept the hand axe mission, but I accidentally hit the complete button instead. Regardless, what was done was done. Duhyok's resolve hardened. He pulled her into a quick hug, then kicked the door wide open. Since things had come to this, he would complete this mission no matter the cost. Dion screamed in terror, trying to stop him. Ah, stop this sudden suicidal rush. A humanoid monster appeared before them, a sharp chainsaw grafted onto its arm. The roar of the engine was deafening. It was Grander, the second mid-boss, a monster known for tearing players to shreds with horrifying speed. Break. ORC watched intently from his screen. That chainsaw arm, just a single graze from it would be enough, was enough to bring any player to death's door. It deals devastating damage, and its attack patterns are brutally complex. He recalled the strategy for fighting a Grander. Usually, suppressive fire from another player would stun it, drawing its aggro. Meanwhile, the rest of the party would aim for its weak spot. With that method, they could take it down with ease. This cycle of attacks and shifting aggro was the official strategy to deal with it. That's why a party of at least 2 was required. A user named Break Orc donated 10,000 won. But what in the world was this insane playstyle? Duhyok charged head-on, swerving at the very last second. He leaned back slightly, swinging his axe hard into the monster's leg. Grander let out a blood-curdling scream from the hit. Its rage began to boil over. He dug his heels into the ground to stop, scoffing to himself. An official strategy? What a joke. Back in my day, if we didn't have a weapon, we fought with our teeth. Duhyok's focus sharpened as he readied himself for the next clash. If there was no way forward, you forged one. And among all those hunters, I was the greatest monster slayer of them all. Enraged, Grander swung its massive saw, desperate for revenge. The whole situation felt nostalgic for Duhyok, a so-called official strategy based on a mere 5 years of omniscient virtual reality history. It was nothing compared to his own grand hunting strategies, forged over 20 years of humanity's desperate war. He ducked, narrowly dodging the saw blade. It skimmed right past his face. Their strategy was a children's playbook. The enemy's attack was fast. He then dropped to a knee, slicing open Grander's calf. Fresh blood sprayed into the air. The key was to destroy their mobility first. It lost its balance and crashed to the floor. His calculations continued. Once you rob an enemy of their balance and speed, you deliver the finishing blow. Grander's fury peaked, its eyes glowing with a dangerous light. Duhyok watched calmly, analyzing its every twitch. Bang! The monster's weak point was its neck. The moment he pinpointed the target, Duhyok shot forward without a shred of hesitation. The axe blade plunged deep into its flesh. He was shocked by what he saw. Grander caught the blow with its bare hands, forcing his attack to a dead stop. The viewers watching the livestream collectively held their breath. What in the world? The axe was completely blocked. Seizing the opportunity, it raised the chainsaw in its hands, ready to tear Duhyok to pieces. With his axe stuck, he was completely immobilized. Jan watched the battle from behind, frantic with worry. She wanted to help, but didn't have the power, and could only scream in terror. Grander let out a savage roar as it charged, revving its chainsaw and lunging straight for Duhyok. Seeing the blade about to split her brother in two, Jan shrieked, "Brother!" But the bloody scene never happened, because Duhyok leaped into the air, escaping the boss's attack. The viewers couldn't believe his lightning-fast reflexes. That's crazy. He actually dodged the boss monster's attack. Duhyok landed squarely on the chainsaw blade, successfully crippling the monster's offense. The comments exploded with activity. He clashed with the blade, but it's useless if he can't pierce the boss's defense. Robbed of its weapon, Grander decided to use its powerful muscles as a shield. One of the viewers noticed it as well. Its defense suddenly skyrockets whenever it senses danger. However, for Duhyok, who loved to meet force with overwhelming force, this was nothing. If the enemy hardens its defense, you just hit it with a stronger attack that can shatter it. Facing a body several times his size, he channeled all his strength, down to the muscles in his feet, to execute his first skill, Focused Strike. The chainsaw blade under Dohyuk's feet bent from the force, acting like a springboard. He used his sharp reflexes and smaller frame to his advantage, launching a decisive one-hit kill technique. Before the boss could even react, its head was sent flying from its shoulders. Grander's massive body collapsed to the floor with a thud. Duhok landed safely a short distance away. After taking down the monster that so many newbies had struggled against, he simply sighed and said, "Whew, that one was a little tough." Jan finally snapped into her role as the cheering squad, running toward him with delight. "Brother, we did it. We won." The recent battle left the viewers in a state of total shock. What the heck? He killed it in a single blow and called it a little tough? A sudden notification popped up. Hyuk Chu has donated 10,000 won. How did you do that? Duhok eagerly explained the principles of the fight to his viewers. Oh, that move from before? It's simpler than you'd think. He described it in detail, analyzing the monster's footing and muscle movements. Then, you aim for the supporting leg when it attacks. I neutralized its speed, and then continued my analysis. And right before it strikes, if you can read the muscle movements of the leading shoulder plus the tension in the arm, you can predict the attack's trajectory. As Dohyuk explained, he demonstrated, moving so fast that everyone could only see after images. After that, you just dodge like I did before, and unleash one powerful blow. The live comments erupted in praise for him. That's insane. Look at those movements. Professor Dohyuk is in session. Only a true master could pull that off. Yet he looks at it like it's a walk in the park? Jian, standing beside him, was utterly speechless. Suddenly, a curious viewer typed in a question. If you can do that, you could probably dodge bullets too, right? Haha. But Dohyuk was still lost in his combat lecture. That's even simpler. Bullets fly in a straight line. He even picked up an axe to demonstrate. You can dodge by watching the direction of the barrel, or just block it with the axe if you have to. Seeing Dohyuk take a game so seriously, the viewers were getting even more entertained. Haha, he talks like it's real. No way. Even with your explanation, you're the only one who can do it. Jian suddenly cut in. Hey, there's a way down over here. He reluctantly paused his fan interaction. Oh, for real? Hold on. It looks like the viewers are really looking forward to this next part. Is it finally time to use the shockwave? Woof woof. Duhyuk kept walking, but didn't forget to interact with his audience. Anyway, there's no time to waste, so I'll explain as we go. Just then, Jian spotted a new weapon. Wait, hold on. There's another axe here. The viewers remembered this part of the game. Oh, right. Defeating the egg monster gets you a submachine gun and a hand axe, doesn't it? The familiar weapon made Dohyuk let something slip. Dual axes. I used to take down countless monsters with these back in the day, but Jian didn't notice the strangeness in his words. She was too terrified by the scene before them. Huh? Behind you. An endless horde of zombies, a sea of undead bodies, rushed toward the two siblings like moths to a flame. She screamed in horror. Enhanced zombies. The audience reveled in the players' suffering, their chat flying off the handle. Here they come. A whole swarm of enhanced zombies is charging. Woof woof woof. A zombie's arm managed to block Duhyok's axe, but its strength was nothing against his relentless assault. Every swing of the axe was answered by the wretched scream of the undead. Duhyok swiftly reaped their heads like harvesting ripe wheat. His movements so fluid the audience began to question reality. Are those enhanced zombies made of tofu or something? Why does every single slash take one down? Teacher Dohyok seemed determined to raise the difficulty on himself. He even explained his tactics while in the heat of battle. It's not as hard as you think. I showed you before, right? You just have to dodge like this. Whoosh. Then focus all your power and strike at the weak points of the human form. He demonstrated on a zombie's neck, just like this. Smack. The result was +1 zombie head. Teacher Dohyok's masterclass had the full attention of his viewers. Haha. See? A clean slice. Bam. Take that Bob Ross skill. Teacher Dohyuk. Finally, someone noticed something wasn't right. But seriously, what is with this difficulty spike? Normally, there are only about 10 of them here. Why did a whole army just spawn in? Another viewer predicted that this time, even Teacher Dohyuk might struggle. Hearing his abilities doubted, Dohyuk decided it was time to get serious. Alright then, I guess I should put a little more effort into it. He gritted his teeth, executing a difficult maneuver aimed at their weak spots. To the naked eye, it looked like he was just flailing his arms wildly. but the head of every single zombie dropped to the floor. Duhok didn't even need to name his technique. The audience came up with the perfect one. Whoa. Isn't that the Tempest? Spin. Tempest. Spin. Of course, such a powerful and difficult skill came with a considerable drawback. After wiping out the entire horde, Do-hyuk's head was spinning, so much that he was practically puking rainbows. But his incredible feat had already won him a massive number of new fans. Whoa, the front line just got annihilated. Bow down before Master Do-hyuk. Someone asked with concern, "You're not dizzy from the Tempest, are you?" Another viewer made a suggestion. "I mean this seriously. Stop goofing around in an action game. Go play Rise of Valhalla." After his dizzy spell, Do-hyuk's face was pale. "Huh, Rise of Valhalla. Is that another game?" Just then, Jian cried out with excitement. "Look at this. I just found a clue about the serum for this monster plague." Do-hyuk was quite surprised. "A clue?" Jian held up a blood-stained notebook. "Yeah, it's covered in blood, so it's a little hard to read. But in this journal," she explained, "it says the cause of all the mutations, from the lickers to the zombies, is a single variant strain. You remember that trailer near the house we saw before coming here?" Only after Do-hyuk confirmed it did she continue with the information. "They said the serum to cure this strain is in there." Jian already had the next steps mapped out in her head. "We just need to collect it and spread it through the mansion's sprinkler system. Once they're exposed to the serum, the monsters will all be weakened at once." The audience completely agreed with her strategy. "That's right. Without the serum, the difficulty of the next boss will skyrocket. Yeah, things will get insanely hard without it." But Do-hyuk was still a bit skeptical. "Really? It doesn't sound that difficult. Maybe we should just give it a try." His nonchalant expression immediately sent the viewers into a fit of laughter. Look at that confidence. But then again, if it's him, he might actually be right. This was a complete contrast to Jian, who was panicking at her brother's ridiculously straightforward way of thinking. "No, wait a minute. What if we fail?" Do-hyuk wasn't about to overthink it. After all, getting there was a total pain. But that comment immediately triggered a much more challenging quest. Break Arc dropped a mission worth 100,000. His request popped up on screen. An intriguing challenge. "Oh, this is interesting. Defeat the next boss without using any serums." A timer appeared. 47 hours and 59 minutes remaining. The moment capitalism called, the Do-hyuk brothers instantly bowed to its power. If that's what Break Arc wanted, Jan was suddenly willing to forget his fear of death. Spoken like a truly educated man. This hilarious 180 had the audience cracking up. Haha, there they go again. With money on the line, these slaves to capitalism got serious in a heartbeat. That's when Jan noticed a mechanism activating. Humph, the floor is cracking. Do-hyuk made a snap decision. "Looks like we're headed down." He immediately shouted, "Let's go. Hop on my back." Meanwhile, Jan barely had time to react. Wait, hold on." A sudden feeling of weightlessness slammed into him. Even though Do-hyuk landed safely, it didn't stop Jan from letting out a blood-curdling scream. A notification popped up in the chat. "We've arrived at the sewer labyrinth." John wrinkled his nose at the bizarre stench. Ugh, what is that smell? But this grim scene brought back old memories for Do-hyuk. This reminds me of the old days. Back then, I practically lived in the sewers to hide from the hordes of alien monsters. Suddenly, Jan saw something scurry past and shrieked in terror. "Look, a rat! It's a rat!" Do-hyuk, on the other hand, held his axes ready, staring at it with an oddly fond expression, lost in thought. Sewer rats. They make an amazing soup. The broth is absolutely heavenly. Of course, this tiny appetizer was just the beginning. The real welcoming party for the two brothers was the massive beast waiting up ahead. Jan stammered in absolute fear. "Ah, a giant rat." But in the eyes of a seasoned hunter like Do-hyuk, these creatures were nothing more than walking protein. Whoa, giant rat meat. With a few clean, decisive swings of his axes, he sent the giant rats to the afterlife. He joyfully held his delicious prize, grabbing the tastiest-looking rat leg, and immediately brought it to his mouth. Bon appétit. Jan was completely stunned, watching his brother open his mouth to bite into the raw meat like a caveman. "Arg! You psycho! Why would you eat that?" But fate itself seemed to deny him his meal. A huge rock suddenly flew out of nowhere, knocking the leg from Do-hyuk's grasp before he could react. The next monster to appear was Charles, a final boss-level creature with powerful tentacles and insane regenerative abilities. The audience was just as confused by this new development. What the heck is that? It's appearing here before we've even reached the boss room? Jan's enthusiasm for capitalism vanished instantly. What is that thing? Why are there two of them? Run, brother, run! Even the viewers thought this was unfair. Did someone screw up the difficulty settings? Is this some kind of trashy, bugged-out game? One person asked. And Duhok, what are you even doing in the middle of all this chaos? Even the twin beasts seemed frozen in confusion, being completely ignored by a player for the first time. Duhok was frantically digging through the rubble. Ah! My rat meat! I was looking forward to eating some garbage food for once in my life. Messing with his meal meant crossing his ultimate line. You bastards! How dare you steal my rat meat? This is unforgivable. A flood of comments showed the audience's complete disbelief. Is he seriously getting this mad over not eating rat meat? Wait, wasn't he part of the Cyto Special Forces or something? Maybe Instructor Duhok really is like that. Both sides charged ferociously, bracing for a tense, life-or-death battle. Jan was also fuming about this absurd difficulty spike. This is ridiculous. It's just been one bizarre, illogical thing after another. But Break Arc, an expert in this field, instantly knew why. In reality mode, the initial difficulty is determined by the player's stats. Duhok's stats have far surpassed the limits of Etin's ranking system. He explained the situation through the comments. Black Dark donated 1000 W. It seems that's the reason all this is happening. The audience knew Duhok was strong, but they were still worried for him. But isn't throwing two of them at him a bit much? Duhok skillfully dodged the monster's claws while reassuring everyone. Whoa, I'm fine, he said calmly. Now this is what makes a fight interesting. His attitude in the face of such a challenge earned the viewers' respect. Duhok's mindset is insane. But it was still too early to let their guard down. An experienced viewer analyzed the situation. Charles has terrifying regeneration. That much damage will heal in an instant. And just as predicted, its shredded tentacles rapidly grew back. The moment it was attacked, it retaliated. Duhok didn't see this move coming and took the full hit. It had started attacking with a poisonous gas. Jan's health bar plummeted. Ah, we're poisoned. We only have 10 minutes left. Even though this wasn't their first boss fight, the audience was still in awe, facing off against Charles, a monster with insane regeneration, while also being poisoned. This is a truly horrifying sight. This is exactly why the battle with Charles is known as Hell Difficulty. And yet, Duhok's fighting spirit remained unbroken. If it regenerates, he began. He just had to keep crushing its legs. With a final, decisive swing, Duhok severed the boss's head, ending its regeneration for good. But the attack was useless, because a new limb instantly sprouted in its place. Jian screamed in panic. Ah, I sliced right through its neck, but it just came back to life. A comment popped up. Charles has infinite regeneration. You have to destroy its heart. Duhok processed the new intel, his strategy shifting instantly. The heart. So, that's its core? He muttered. He closed the distance, aiming his next assault on the monster's chest. Duhok snapped a kick to its chin, staggering the beast. Seizing the opening, he brought his axe down in a devastating vertical chop. The blow sent the boss reeling off balance. Duhok moved in without hesitation, stomping down hard on its body with absolute resolve. If the heart is its weakness, he declared, then I'll rip it out with my own two hands and crush it. Charles roared in agony, unable to believe it was being dismantled by a mere player. But while Duhok was focused, the second monster prepared a treacherous sneak attack. Razor-sharp claws plunged deep into living flesh. Jian watched in horror, screaming, "No, brother!" The audience was just as stunned by the unbelievable sight. Whoa, what was that? What am I even watching right now? The attacking monster seemed confused. It had struck its own partner. Duhok had dodged the fatal blow at the last possible second. The chat immediately exploded. He baited the attack. He used it to destroy the other one's heart. That's insane. Was that his plan all along? The remaining boss, realizing it had been played, glared at him with pure killing intent, baring its vicious fangs. Duhok didn't back down an inch. He met its charge by slamming his axe into its head, halting its advance before cleaving straight down with immense power. The creature's entire body was split in two, unleashing a torrent of black blood. Duhok stood victorious atop the monster he had utterly dismantled. The viewers went wild, their hype levels off the charts. LOL, this is insane. Is that even possible? Mom, when I grow up, I want to be a dual-axe warrior. Absolutely crazy. Let's hear it for Duhok. Let's go, Duhok. Jian's perception of her brother's power had been completely rewritten. All she could do was stammer in awe. Amazing. Just amazing. A notification appeared. Mission C has been completed. Your lives are no longer in danger. The gears in Jian's mind started turning. Everyone, she announced, after witnessing such a legendary battle. Don't you think a little appreciation is in order? The audience knew what was coming. Ah, there's the Jian we know and love. Time for donations. Donation mode activated. A flood of notifications poured in. A secret user has donated 10,000. Dude, that was insane. How did you pull that off? User Malaran has donated $100. PogChamp77300. A secret user has donated 50,000. Are you for real? Jian was ecstatic, as the donation alerts just kept coming. Ah, thank you. Thank you all so much, she beamed. I'll use this to buy my brother and me a proper meat dinner. Duhok was shocked they could make so much from just a few battles. Wow, is this all real money? Just how much did we earn today? After chatting with the viewers, Jian turned to Duhok. Phew. Hey, so what's next? Want to keep going? He considered it. We've already been playing for 8 hours. Let's call it a day. A wave of disappointment washed over the chat. Hey, only 8 hours? We need at least 18. You're not just going to leave us hanging, are you? So cruel. Duhok had to explain. I'm starting to lose my focus. And since this is my first time in virtual reality, I'm feeling a little dizzy. The audience understood and backed off. All right, I guess. Just promise to play longer next time. Duhok and Jian agreed. Okay, you got it. We'll be back to finish this. All right, see you all then. Bye. Even after they logged off, the chat was still buzzing with excitement. Boss, let's head in. Wait. Why did they leave when we told them to stay? But for real, did we just witness history in the making? The viewers began to speculate. Yeah, I think so. Did we just witness the birth of a new legend? What do you think? Black sighed, lost in thought. Yeah. Seriously. Who on earth is this guy? The other person replied, we just have to admit it, right? They're on a whole other level. An incredible thought crossed Black's mind. If his skills are this insane in Kills IT, what would he be like in other games? He pictured it in his mind. If that guy played any other game, it would instantly become a hit. No, it would be an absolute sensation. Watching Duhok fight ignited a fire in Black. Yes, I can't hesitate any longer. We have to get him on our side. The moment they logged out, Jian started cheering. Appa, that was incredible. How did you even do that? She wasn't just praising him. She was flailing her arms, trying to imitate his moves. You looked like you've been wielding dual axes your entire life. It was just like this. And this. Boom. Boom. Duhok watched her wild swings nearly connect with his face and yelled, Hey, stop. You're gonna hit me. No wonder you don't have a boyfriend, he teased. His words hit a nerve, and she froze, completely indignant. Back off? What are you talking about? I've got plenty of connections. I'm kind of a hot commodity, you know. But he remained completely unfazed by her brandished weapon. Right, sure, says the girl who's been single her entire life. And no, your imaginary relationships don't count. Luckily, a real fight didn't break out, so she quickly steered the conversation back. Seriously, how did you even do that? You looked like some lunatic waving a stereo around. But Duhok just offered a nonchalant reply. Humph, I just did it, and it worked. She was speechless for a moment before sighing. Ugh. Spoken like a true, naturally talented, lucky bastard. This whole thing reminded her of something. You see, her brother had always been unbelievably strong, even as a kid. If it wasn't for that fortune-teller's prediction, the day their parents took him to see that shaman, the shaman declared that the boy possessed the face of one chosen by destiny to save the world. That premonition left her parents completely stunned. This child? She remembered how they swallowed that ridiculous prophecy without a single doubt. They took it way too far, ignoring the desperate pleas from his physical education teacher. She could never forget that day when the teacher protested. Ma'am, Duhok's brain is just for decoration. He was born to. Her mother swiftly cut him off. Silence, her father chimed in, stopping the teacher cold. Are you trying to stand in the way of his future as the UN Secretary General? Personally, she always believed that if they had just listened to that teacher, her brother could have won an Olympic medal or two. Her parents regretted their decision every single day, while her brother just listlessly scratched his stomach, not caring at all. What? Why? Jan let out a long sigh. Look, since you've already started this, why don't you try streaming for real? Duhok pointed at himself in disbelief, trying to confirm what he just heard. You want me to stream? She quickly held up her phone to explain. You saw the viewers' reactions today, didn't you? If you just play like that, without saying a word, you'll still gain a massive following. What she said seemed to trigger a memory within him. Come to think of it, it really has been a long time. That was his past life. Before he returned to the past, he'd fought for his very survival for over 10 years. If he didn't kill the alien creatures in front of him, he would be the one to die. Then, he looked at his current self. After all that, he was now just a manual laborer, hauling bricks at construction sites. His life had become so boring he felt like he could die from the sheer monotony. Then, he replayed what he'd just experienced. The battle inside that virtual reality game was the most exhilarating thing he'd felt in a very, very long time. Although Do-hyuk knew he didn't actually miss those bloody days, he still clenched his fists with a grin and concluded, still. It was insanely fun. He'd barely shown a hint of excitement, but his sister's eyes lit up as she pressed him. Oh, so does that mean you'll do it? Right? But he didn't nod right away. I still have debts to pay. Let me think about it a little more. Jan didn't hesitate to set him straight. Oh my god, you're such an idiot. That's exactly why you should be streaming more. With the quest reward that Breaksea set for the last round, you earned over 3 million won just today. But that was news to him. 3 million? Golden coins immediately started flying through his mind. In a single day, I could pay off all my debts in a flash. She enjoyed his sudden submissiveness. So, you'll do it then. But do you have enough money to buy a capsule? He maintained his pleading posture and proclaimed, Oh, great sister of mine, I'm counting on your magnificent credit card. Flattered by Do-hyuk's praise, an idea quickly sparked in her mind. All right, you know what? Appa, I'll buy you a new capsule. What could possibly be better news for him? Ah, I'm so amazing. The brilliant and perfect Jan. Spurred on by his gleeful flattery, she struck a pose as well. That's right. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. But her theatrics came to a sudden halt when a notification popped up on her phone. Huh? A text message? She gasped and yelled, Oh, look at this. Her panic made him jump. What is it? What? Are the virtual reality capsules all sold out? But the situation wasn't that dire, so she quickly pointed it out. No, it's not that. Breaksea sent you a direct message. The name instantly clicked for him. Ah, isn't that the guy who first discovered the hidden path in ITQ? Her next words only confirmed his suspicion. That's the one. That super famous game streamer. He wants to collaborate with you. Isn't that completely insane? This reality was too much for Do-hyuk to handle. A collaboration? He still couldn't believe it. Are you crazy? There's no way. Jan, frustrated by his thick-headedness, grabbed him by the shoulders. What? Why not? Do you have any idea how famous he is? Just one collaboration with him, and your viewership will explode. But he was stuck on a very strange obsession. Shut up. You want me to collaborate with a guy just because I have a capsule? I respect his identity, but I'm into women. He spiraled into a tragedy of his own making. You're so blinded by viewer counts that you'd steal my innocence, you monster. At that moment, she looked like a demon ready to tear him to shreds. This Appa. Should I just kill him? Fortunately, the chaos passed, and a new day arrived with an announcement. The capsule installation is complete. He quickly replied, Yes, thank you. Goodbye. Do-hyuk buried his face in his hands. I muttered, gritting my teeth through the throbbing pain. Seriously, that kid. Couldn't she have explained things a little better? I thought our partnership had conditions, but that's not a problem when my will is this strong. Anyway, I've decided to play now. Let's really get this started. I sat down without a moment's hesitation in a high-end capsule, bought with Jan's card on a 12-month installment plan. She said it was essential for my future streams, so I ended up adding all the convenient features, pushing the price up to 20 million. Thoughts of my little sister fueled my determination. We've fought since we were kids, but she has the warmest heart. Jan, don't you worry. I'm going to make a ton of money from this, pay off all our debts, and buy you a mountain of gifts. The moment Do-hyuk logged in, the system interface flared to life. He began browsing the game library, his eyes scanning each thumbnail. Let's see. This time, I should try playing in game mode instead of reality mode. His fingers immediately started swiping through the options. If I choose a game with near superhuman specs, I can finally satisfy that craving ITQ could never fulfill. As he scrolled, he mumbled to himself, All right, this one looks decent. Wow. Anything that looks even slightly good costs at least $200. Finally, the game he was searching for appeared. Since I'm completely broke, do I really have to pick the cheapest one? What is this? He was completely stunned by the familiar graphics. That fighting game I used to play as a kid? Do-hyuk couldn't hold back his excitement. No way. Is this the full version of Ultimate Fighter FD? This was it. He slammed his finger on the price tag. The legendary nostalgic fighting game Antifile for only $20? I have to buy this. Right now. Instantly, a system message popped up. Purchase of Fighter FD complete. Connecting to the game lobby. His entire body was rapidly digitized as a prompt appeared. Please select a nickname. Do-hyuk's excitement grew. If my old nickname Antifile is still linked, I'll use that. Is that so? The system immediately registered his words. Nickname has been set to, is that so? Moving to the next phase, he spoke with conviction. All right, let's test my body's condition. With that, he poured all his strength into a punch aimed at the floor. The violent burst fist landed with enough force to crater the ground beneath him. Next was the chain kick, a skill that allowed the player to unleash a relentless flurry of kicks and punches. But that wasn't all. His arms and even his eyes suddenly took on a deadly sharpness. His movements were now like the edge of a honed blade. He scanned the entire lobby with his newfound senses. After finishing his checks, he let out a breath. Whew. So, this is my maximum potential in game mode. Duhok stared down at his hands, deep in thought. It's not enough to be called superhuman like before, but I can definitely say I've surpassed the limits of a normal person. As the room began to restore itself, he guessed, this must be the limit a normal person's consciousness can handle, right? If I get any faster than this, normal perception won't be able to keep up. His thoughts ceased, and he smiled, making a request. All right, warm-up's over. It's time for a real fight. System, search for a ranked match. The system replied bluntly. Player is that so? Does not meet the level requirement to participate in ranked matches. He suddenly remembered. Ah, right. I forgot about that rule. Looks like I have no other choice. Find an open room instead. The system instantly processed the command, searching for open rooms in Ultimate Fighter FD. As it searched, he smirked confidently. While I wait, maybe I should pick a character to play? At that exact moment, Harang's room was buzzing with excitement as she cut down her enemies. Whoa! Let's go! Sword Princess! Just as the final enemy collapsed under her blade, a comment popped up. Another clean victory. The system window flashed. Harang wins. She threw up a victory sign with a cheer. Mission complete. Viewers showered her with praise as she received the mission reward of 50,000. All the quests today have been super generous. This was the swordswoman Harang, a streamer who had been broadcasting for about a year with an average of 2,000 viewers. Even so, a newcomer popped into her stream to ask, who is this woman? Why is she so good at Ultimate Fighter? Another viewer immediately answered. User Princess Fanboy has donated 1,000 gold. Are you new to Antify? How can you not know the Sword Princess? The fan continued. Ultimate Fighter FD used to be a legendary game. It even had a world championship. Back then, this swordswoman was one of the top players in Antify, known by her nickname, Sword Princess. The fan passionately explained. In the world of fighting games, which was totally dominated by men, she was number one. Flustered by all the praise, Harang quickly cut in, Hey, Fanboy Appa, stop it. That was all a long time ago. I don't play Antify professionally anymore, so of course not everyone is going to know me, she said, trying to be understanding. Besides, when people think of fighting games these days, they think of Iron Fist, not Antify. Another viewer chimed in. That's right. And because of that, most Antify players have moved on to other games. After chatting with her viewers, she addressed the system. Anyway, since I'm already logged into Antify, let's find the next match. System. Search for an available room. A player at my level. The system instantly obeyed, searching for a ranked match that fits your criteria. Match found. Estimated wait time, 9 minutes. This ticked Harang off. Huh? 9 minutes? That's way too long. Then what about the next match? The comm replied in its usual monotone. Estimated wait time, 12 minutes. She clutched her head and groaned. Ugh. This is going to completely ruin my broadcast's flow. Just then, a comment popped up with a suggestion. User Spiderg has donated 1,000 gold. How about doing a public match quest for old time's sake? She instantly agreed with the idea. That sounds great. The wait time is killing me anyway. Seeing her accept, the user made a new request. User Spiderg has donated 100,000 gold for 5 consecutive public match wins. Time limit, 11 minutes and 59 seconds. She practically shrieked. I'm sorry, 5 wins in a row? That's way too hard. Please give me a break. The viewers immediately started defending her. That's right. Ever since Antify stopped being popular, only the hardcore veterans are left. The public rooms are basically war zones filled with seasoned players now, right? It's where high-level players go to destroy beginners. That's why public matches have become a hunting ground for veterans. Heh heh heh. Even the Sword Princess got demolished by a pro last time. At that, someone immediately protested. But that was against Bago. Harang tried to defend herself. That's because I couldn't use my main character, okay? The opponent seemed to disbelieve her. Yeah, keep making excuses. This just made her even more furious. But Bago was using his main character. Because of them, she was determined to get her revenge. Alright, it's time to use my Smurf account. This was her explorer character. With this power, she declared with absolute confidence. This time, with my Smurf account, I'll show everyone what real newbie hunting looks like. At the same time, she gave the comm a command to create a public room with the title Sowo Antify for true newbies only. The system quickly responded, creating public room. When the room was successfully created, the scene changed to a scorching wasteland, and the comments started pouring in. Whoa, the veteran monsters are gathering. Is this the start of a newbie massacre? Oh, this map is Antify Classic, the volcano arena. They chatted non-stop when they saw someone who looked like Son Goku. So, who is my opponent? Oh, it's the Night Warrior Hoken, the man with hands engulfed in black flames. Judging by his stance, he's probably platinum rank. Harang, standing opposite him, immediately began to strategize. Hoken, a character with easy-to-execute combos and some cheap but effective moves. He isn't hard to control at all. Plus, this character is very strong. He's always in the top 3 most popular characters in Antify. Suddenly, a flash of light pierced through the dark and gloomy space. Her opponent chose to strike first to gain an advantage. She thought his special skill was to use the fighter's signature charge. The black flame strike from his hand shot straight towards her with powerful and decisive force. Harang hurriedly retreated, exclaiming, "At close range, the fighter has the advantage." The basic strategy for a mage against a fighter. She executed each step while listing the points in that strategy. First, keep your distance. Then, use long-range attack spells. Before Hoken could understand the situation, the magic attack she had been charging instantly flashed. When she saw that her power was sufficiently charged, she didn't hesitate to take a stance and shout, "Go, staff." She ordered the attack. The moment she spoke, the staff flew forward and hit him on the head with a loud THW-ack. Hoken himself hadn't expected such a bizarre thing. Hey, what the hell was that? Is this supposed to be magic? That was just throwing a staff. But as his nose started to bleed, his opponent approached with terrifying speed. She firmly grabbed his arm and said, "This is the ultimate technique of all magic." Immediately, she slammed him to the ground with a move called physical magic therapy. The viewers were also in awe. There it is, that takedown. She even perfectly copied Hoken's grapple move. She then laughed with satisfaction. However, things weren't over yet. She firmly grasped the staff as it flew back to her. Actually, physical magic therapy. Her beautiful face turned crazed. Wire is just an opening move for the real magic. It takes a little time to activate it. The viewers quickly commented, "Oh, it's coming, the mage's ultimate skill, Meteor Swarm." She was like a demoness standing there, sneering in the middle of the magic circle. "Oh ho ho ho," she made Hoken exclaim in amazement. "Oh my god." He resentfully turned and tried to dodge. Ah, this is so unfair. In contrast, the viewers became even more interested. Ha ha ha. So overpowered. They were thoroughly enjoying this moment. Not overpowered at all. Every day brings a new experience. After finishing the summon, she waved her hand. "Goodbye, Mr. Platinum. In your next game, I hope you'll be reincarnated as a pro." The meteors immediately logged him out with an indignant scream. "Wah! This is terrible, you Antify veterans. I hope this game dies soon." In response, only the mocking laughter of the viewers remained. Hew, hew, hew. Wrecking platinum-ranked newbies never gets old. Thanks for the content, my dear Hoken. For your generous praise. Ugh. Just like that, the one-sided match ended with the Sword Saintess's victory. The system announced the arena was being restored. As she waited, she let out a sigh of relief, glad her opponent wasn't too tough. But the viewers were probably unimpressed. That was the easiest quest ever. Yeah, way too easy. Once the map was restored, Harang grinned and raised her staff, ready to continue her 5-win streak quest. System, summon the next opponent. Its cold voice echoed as the next challenger appeared. It was Meta Steve. Or rather, it was Duhok, who had just arrived. If he was surprised, the viewers were twice as shocked. Huh? Steve? Isn't that a character for absolute beginners? As Duhok leaped and landed, everyone from Harang to the viewers was completely baffled. Their information is set to private, right? Yeah, looks like it. Can't see any character history. Huh? What is he doing? No way. Is he actually warming up? His next move left everyone even more speechless. Hey, look, he's even tapping the arena floor. Ha ha ha, what a weirdo. What's wrong with this guy? The way he moves, he looks like a total newbie. She finally sighed. Ugh, this is too much. Are we really going to fight a complete beginner? The chat buzzed with excitement. Are you really going to fight him? Protect the newbie. Stop the bullying. Seeing those comments, Harang cracked a wicked grin. I'd love to protect the newbie, but I still have my own quest to complete. Still, I never expected a total beginner to show up. The viewers immediately called her out. Then wipe that smirk off your face. You're the one who wrote True Newbies only in the lobby title. Yeah. LOL, this is all your fault. She quickly waved her hand, hitting the ready button. Anyway, let's just start the match. The viewers were all settled in for a comedy show. Go easy on him. The newbie's about to cry. The system began its countdown. As the count hit 2, the chat was still buzzing. It's been a while since I've seen a brand new player. This newbie might just quit the game after this. The very instant they thought the newbie was done for, as the countdown hit 1, he channeled all his power into his legs. The moment the fight began, he shot forward just like Hoken had. The chat immediately lit up. The classic newbie charge attack. Harang instantly jumped back to dodge, her arrogance on full display. Ah, you think that'll work on me? I can even dodge Hoken's charge. A newbie's rush is nothing to me. But it was all a feint. He never intended to end it in one blow. His hand quickly touched the ground. In the next instant, Duhok closed the distance with blinding speed, leaving Harang in a state of panic. Huh? The moment his fist made intimate contact with her face, she could only stammer, "Wah, wait a second." No one could have predicted the skill he used was a chain combo. The result? She was beaten to a pulp. As he finished his assault and stood still, her body hit the ground, followed by the glowing text, "Perfect." The viewers were stunned. Perfect? Did a real newbie just take down a veteran player? As Harang's avatar was teleported away by the system, he muttered, that was a solid hit. The viewers couldn't understand a thing. Ahem, did he just say it didn't feel too bad? What in the world did we just witness? Round 2 began. She instantly reappeared on the map, much to his surprise. The chat seized the opportunity to mock her. Ha ha ha. A perfect loss. And to a newbie, no less. This has to be the biggest shame in Antif's history. She couldn't accept it. Whoa, wait a minute. Let's go again. One more match. But the chat kept piling on. You lost that easily? Stand up straight. Seeing this, the Sword Saintess panicked and tried to explain, no, everyone. Hold on. Hold on. This isn't right at all. Seriously. You guys know I only lost because I let my guard down, right? But that just made them laugh harder. Letting your guard down, LOL. Remember what you said when you beat your last opponent? A user named Sotgun donated 1001, dying laughing right now. That's right. I swear you said that letting your guard down is also a part of your skill level. Harang, furious, pointed out the real issue. No, but seriously, how can he be a newbie? He's obviously a smurf. You guys thought he was a newbie too. The chat conceded the point. Ha ha ha, that's fair. His acting was flawless. With no other excuses, she switched to Swordmaster Harang. With renewed determination, she declared, "Whatever. This time, I'll be the one to get the perfect victory." The viewers groaned. Finally bringing out her main character. Ah, that's the character that made her famous as the Sword Princess back in her pro gaming days. Suddenly, a viewer spoke up. User King Lista donated 1000. Gets perfectly wrecked once and immediately switches to Harang. Now that's what I call impressive. Ha, and everyone's jumping on the bandwagon. Seriously, it's so good it's hilarious. Heh, I have to agree. Impressive is an understatement. I'm absolutely floored. In a fit of rage, she felt like tearing them all to shreds. No, if I had played seriously, I would have won for sure. Then, raising her sword high, she yelled, "Everyone, so you'd better start praying for his soul on my behalf." Not even the brilliant flash of her sword could outshine the fire blazing in her eyes, because from now on, I'm going all out. The system registered her command, beginning the countdown. 3. She could tell with a single glance. He definitely hadn't reached the highest tier, Transcendent. At best, he was somewhere between mid-diamond and low master rank. The ranking tiers were clear. Transcendent, Grandmaster, Diamond, Platinum, Gold, Silver, Bronze, Iron, and Newbie. As the system counted down to 2, she was absolutely certain. The highest possible rank in Ultimate Fighter was Transcendent, and out of all the players, only 100 people, including herself, had ever reached that peak. After a moment of observation, she made her call. His combat style isn't typical for Antifi. He's probably a master from another game, deciding to test his skills in this one. When the system hit 1, it was her turn to unleash her power first. Now, let me show you. The moment the fight signal flashed, Harang lunged forward with a determined roar. What real control looks like. Just as she swung her blade in a wide arc, Steve skillfully ducked to evade it, then instantly shifted into a powerful counter stance. He aimed to land a solid punch, but she was no longer on the defensive. I won't go down so easily this time. Yet, he was a step faster, firmly grabbing her wrist. His fluid, continuous movements left Harang completely pinned, stammering once again. Hey, wait a second. History repeated itself as his fist slammed into her face, cutting off her words. But it didn't end there. He unleashed his combo strike, and once again, she was helpless. I'm dead. When his combo finished flawlessly, the viewers went wild. Whoa, damn. This scene looks awfully familiar. She got wiped out with another perfect round. Exactly like last time, I'm dying of laughter. Is this what you call a pro? They showed her no mercy. Should call her the sword brat instead of the sword princess now. But she stubbornly refused to give up. No, one more round. Let's go again. And so, Harang kept respawning only to be vaporized by his attacks. But every time, the system declared Steve the winner. All she could do was plead, "Go a little easy on me." After she vanished again, a panting Steve puckered his lips in victory. A clean 5-win streak. But he didn't let his guard down. A staff-wielding character is easy to handle in the early game. But near the end, she drew a sword and used some strange skill that was a bit tricky to deal with. He stared at his hands thoughtfully. I logged in through the special game mode because I wanted to test my superpowers. But out of habit, I skipped the tutorial. So, I have absolutely no idea how to use them, and couldn't activate a single thing. The frustrating reality was, just to be sure, I even tried to use my old instincts for magic control. But it was completely useless. He decided that since he chose this mode to relive his old powers anyway, next time, I'd better just do the tutorial first. To his surprise, Harang joined the queue again, making him gasp. Huh? Steve took the chance to tease her immediately. Oh, you're back? You played pretty well just now. What's your rank? However, all he saw was her standing there, cursing silently. He was confused. Huh? What are you saying? Utterly bewildered, he told her. What? I can't hear anything. As she continued mouthing curses at him, he wondered. How did they enable the in-game mute function to focus entirely on the match? He wasn't sure. If that's the case, they can't hear a single word I'm saying? Just then, she drew her sword in a challenge. The system instantly lit up with a flood of text. A revenge rematch request has been received. This completely startled him. Huh? No matter how many times he hit decline, the number of revenge match requests just kept climbing. He was determined. Oh man, what am I supposed to do? Sorry, but I have to go. He decided to just ignore her. Well then, have fun. Because I've got things to do. I should log out quickly and figure out how to activate my skills. And just like that, he began to leave, despite Harang's desperate attempts to stop him. Since she was muted, he could only guess what she was yelling about this time. Oh, based on her lip movements, she's asking for my username, so she can add me as a friend and challenge me again later? At that thought, he struck his most handsome pose and smirked. Is that so? Seeing that she still looked confused, he sent his name in a text burst. Is that so? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe she can't see my username, just like before. And now she's even madder? Harang couldn't hold back the rage boiling up inside her. You piece of trash! And yet, he simply vanished with a notification. Player 2 has logged out. The only thing left echoing across the lava map was her furious scream. I swear I will find you. The viewers were still having a blast. I'm dying of laughter. Is that so? Is that so? Pfft. Ha ha ha. Their teasing only fueled her rage. Damn it. Who the hell is that guy? The comments kept scrolling. Huh? Who? Sword Princess, the former pro player? Is that so? The thought made her flush with anger all over again. How dare he just ignore me like that? But one viewer calmly pointed out the truth. Buffet Explanation has donated 1,000 gold. Hold on, Sword Princess. That person isn't ignoring you. What the commenter said made her grind her teeth in frustration. If it's a newly created account, voice chat is turned off by default. He probably never even turned it on. The chat's right. He probably couldn't even hear her. But as if Harang would ever accept that. No way. That's impossible. Everyone saw it. She remembered the final match, unleashing her signature ultimate, the Dance of Death. And yet, that so-called newbie dodged her entire combo and took her down before she could even finish the attack. The biggest question was, how could a new Antifi player pull that off in a single match? She was convinced he had to be an old pro, here, just to hunt her down, or maybe a top-tier amateur from Antifi's golden age. Her thoughts raced. What if he was a professional player, hiding his identity? The viewers were still going wild. But seriously, who was that guy? Anatol. Could it be? The name struck her like lightning. Anatol. It brought back memories of a legend from Ultimate Fighter, the man they called the greatest of all time, Anatol. No, it couldn't be him. She shook the thought away. Anatol's style was textbook perfection, but this guy, his movements were completely unpredictable. Harang's mind spun. It was as if he had no set pattern at all. No, that's impossible. The more she thought, the less it made sense. If that were true, wouldn't it mean he was reading her every single move and reacting to them in the middle of battle? She remembered the look on his face. No way in hell. That kind of skill goes way beyond the scope of a game. A monster like that can't actually exist. Then she recalled his cheerful greeting. "Oh, you're back? That was a pretty good game. What's your rank, by the way?" All she could do was rage back. "Are you kidding me? We just fought, so you should already know." The chat comments exploded with laughter. He even had the nerve to say, "Pretty good." Huh? The Sword Princess is just some run-of-the-mill pro. Turns out, the viewers saw her arguing back. "Shut up, all of you." But they just kept teasing her. Wow, showing off her rank. Ha 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 ha. The chat was in an uproar. Finally, Harang screamed, "That's enough. Who are you, really? Are you a retired pro? Or are you still competing?" But did he even hear her? "What did you say?" Seeing his confused frown, she snapped, "Ugh, fine, I won't ask anymore. Just accept my revenge match request. Now." The moment he repeatedly hit decline was the moment she started seeing red. She fumed. "Are you being serious right now? You know who I am. You came here to target me, didn't you?" She just wouldn't let it go. Who else on the Korean server plays Harang like me? Stop pretending you don't know. And of course, that was the exact moment he said his username out loud. Is that so? In the end, that's why she completely lost her mind when he logged off. "I swear, I will find you." The viewers weren't about to let her live that down, roaring with laughter. Is that so? Ha ha, I'm dying. He just bailed on her. Damn it, a complete and total wipeout. All she could do was vent. This is so frustrating. The chat kept piling on. "Are you sure he ran? Maybe he just realized how bad you are?" Wow. Thinking back on it, it was a true humiliation. Harang didn't say another word, leaving them with one final promise. "Whatever. Don't try to stop me. I'm going to hunt that bastard down and make him quit this game for good." The viewers didn't care at all. Haha, how pathetic. Sword Princess Midding Von donated 1,000 gold. Haha, getting destroyed on your main character. Truly next level, Sword Princess. A few hours later, Duhok appeared in the lobby after grinding a few more matches. He let out a breath and commanded, "Whew, that was the 14th match, right? Calm. Display my ranked stats." The system immediately complied. Current ranked stats, 14 wins, 0 losses. He came to a conclusion. Aside from that first player, the overall skill level seems pretty low. He recalled with some irritation that even in ranked, every opponent so far had fallen for just 1 or 2 basic feints, and they left themselves wide open for fatal blows. He then thought about the leaderboards, but right now, I'm only in diamond rank. There are still 2 higher tiers above me. Once I reach the highest ranks, I'm sure I'll find more interesting opponents. Still, he thought, just in case. That first player seemed pretty decent. I should probably send her a friend request. As the system confirmed the friend request was sent to the player female swordsman, he felt a hint of anticipation. There, I wonder if she'll accept? However, another notification suddenly popped up. Jian Chu has invited you to ITQ. Accept or decline. Only then did he remember. Ah, that's right. I promised to do a joint stream with Jian Chu today, didn't I? And so, without a second thought, he clicked accept. It's already 8 p.m. Gotta go. By the time the two entered the room, 173 viewers were already there. They were already spamming the chat. "Why are you 1 minute late? Why are you 1 minute late?" Jian started the stream. "Whoa, Master Duhok is here. May your noble spirit always shine brightly," Jian said with a huge smile. "Hello everyone, it's great to see you again." The chat replied warmly. "Welcome, Jian Chu." "Hey, is that the axe murderer behind you?" She immediately pointed him out. "Yep, that's him. Take a look. He's the spitting image of a killer. I mean, my dear Appa here is the infamous axe murderer of ITQ." Duhok looked back at her, completely lost. "Murderer? What's with the axe?" And then he got his answer. "Your last ITQ stream is blowing up on every gaming forum." Leaving him speechless, she turned to her viewers. "So, what's on the agenda today?" "Ooh, what's this? Is something big about to happen?" She turned to him and called out, "Appa, now raise the axe. Are you just going to do what I say? Fine. but what she really wanted to say was, introducing the legendary technique of Master Duhok. And just like that, he perfectly coordinated with her to clear the stage. ITQ, boo boo boo. The ultimate axe berserker. The chat went absolutely wild. Time for a bloodbath. This wasn't some sappy drama. This was the rampage of a berserker's axe. She pointed at a corpse and started the conversation. Hey, you remember we stopped during the boss hunt last time, right? Of course we do. How could we possibly forget that? I'm so hyped to see it live again. She clenched her fists, excitedly laying out the plan. Today, we're going to try and conquer ITQ2, the one we couldn't finish last time. Everyone was bursting with excitement. Dude, I finally get to see it with my own eyes. My wallet is already buzzing. Then she turned and signaled to him. All right then, let's get this started. His only response was a devastating swing from his axe. She screamed in absolute terror. Ah, you crazy bastard. What's wrong with you? The attack whizzed by, not even touching a single hair on her head. Ah, Diane gasped when she realized the axe's true target. Were those monsters rushing straight for them? Countless beasts with red eyes and powerful builds, known as the blood-sucking abominations. What the hell are they doing here? And there are 10 of them. Duhok charged forward to counterattack. First, he'd deal with this mob. One of them raised its razor-sharp claws to attack him, but it could only gape in shock as he grabbed its head with his bare hand. He then twisted with raw power, ripping its head clean off while the others swarmed in. A blazing battle lust ignited in his eyes that very second. He dodged its sneak attack. The axe in his hand sliced through the air, taking the beast's skull with it, and instantly triggering its unrestrained fury. It opened its fang-filled mouth and lunged at him on all fours. Duhok gritted his teeth, using the severed head itself as a weapon to throw. The skull projectile landed a perfect shot right between its eyes. He seized the opportunity to close the distance and eliminate the threat for good. Die! It couldn't even fight back as it collapsed into the water. Seeing him slaughter their kind, the others were driven into a frenzy, wanting nothing more than to tear their enemy to shreds. He met their rage with a cold, defiant stare, then suddenly vanished with lightning-fast movement, disappearing from sight. Then, he silently launched a sneak attack on a lone monster, startling it. With a single swing, its head was separated from its neck. He then decisively pulled the blood-soaked axe from its skull. Duhok held the axe high and arrogantly declared, "All right, shall we finish these things off right now?" They had the same idea and quickly ganged up on him for a pincer attack. The one behind was about to bite down, but he tilted his head to dodge. He gritted his teeth and moved swiftly. Now then, let's pick up where we left off. He swung his arms wide, creating a fierce, destructive whirlwind. One by one, they lost heads or body parts to a single charging technique. He expertly eliminated everything that came near him. The comment section suddenly erupted. There it is! Master Duhok's half-deadly Gale Charge. I'm about to lose my mind. Gale Charge. He hunched over and threw up after. The gruesome slaughter. Oh, a system notification. User Only Watch Game has donated 1,000 gold and a message. Hey, you bastard. I requested ITQ2. So why are you playing Diablo by yourself? Along with the praise, another said, Master Duhok is still moving, like a drunk, as always. He wiped his mouth and replied, I'm fine. I'm already used to it. Duhok focused his senses and observed the aftermath. Phew, did I get them all? Gifts started flooding in. User Liable Nickname has donated 1,001. You think they're still alive? The chat was buzzing. He's actually asking if they're still alive. You wiped them all out. He raised his axe proudly to show it off. Look how they went down in one hit when I aimed for their weak spots. They don't seem very tough. Even in death, he was still dissecting their weaknesses. That's because you were aiming for their necks. Normally, even a grenade launcher wouldn't guarantee a kill. But why'd they go down so easily this time? How could they possibly survive having their heads lopped off by an axe? That's just how it is. The game knowledge of veteran players is really on another level. Actually, pros usually use knives to take them down. Slashing with a melee weapon causes a longer stun. He cheerfully absorbed the feedback. Ah, I see. So they're designed to be taken down that way. No wonder. It was so easy. He stood amidst the corpses, reading the stream of comments. What the hell? We can't just charge in head-on like you do. The best way is to sneak up from behind and stab them. Geez, how can you even fight 10 of them at once? That's just barbaric. For real, if just 2 of them show up, we have to pull out the grenade launcher. Dion quietly approached as Duhok was lost in the chat. Huh? Is that right? From what I saw, they just charged straight ahead. Can't you guys just predict their movement, dodge, and then slash them? She let out a helpless sigh, cursing him under her breath. Most normal people can't do that. You big oaf. You've never been this clueless before. His talent was something that left people speechless. How could a genius? Do you have any clue what normal people go through? The more you talk, the dumber you sound. Right. Just like that muscle-headed brute I handled before. Jan was at a complete loss for words, but whatever. As long as the live stream was entertaining, she didn't care. She patted his back, urging him forward. Enough with the explanations. Let's just get to the next stage. Duhok turned back to his viewers with a lingering glance. Oh, and one more thing. So, remember everyone. Slash, stab, and flick. They're very appreciative of the technique. That's right. Slash, stab, and flick is all about dodging. Avoiding the attack before it can even land. Ah, so that's how it was. I see it all now. The fighter used his armor to parry the blow. Ha! Harang lunged forward, blade flashing, giving her opponent zero time to react. His ironclad arm slammed against her longsword. He followed up instantly, smashing his fist against the flat of her blade. Ugh! His other hand crackled with blue energy, chopping down toward her head. Die! With graceful footwork, she launched herself away, dodging a blow powerful enough to shatter the very floor. Harang's expression hardened as she shot back. Why aren't you the one who's dead? Her words struck a nerve. He seethed, sweat beading on his brow. Seizing the opening, she unleashed her ultimate skill. Death Dance. She dissolved into a storm of illusions, relentlessly striking him from all sides. A system notification declared the swordswoman victorious. With her back to the light, she calmly sheathed her blade. Whew. That opponent was tougher than he looked. The chat log exploded with messages. Who am I? The flower of UF. The swordswoman. That last dodge was absolutely incredible. A perfect sidestep into a finishing blow. Her head snapped around as a thought struck her. Based on that skill, they must have reached the transcendent level of Death Dance. Her fist clenched so tightly it trembled. My technique works even on the highest ranked opponents, so why? Why did it have no effect on that brute? A single drop of sweat traced a path down her cheek. She meticulously ran through the possibilities. Is he a current pro player in the UF? Or maybe a former pro? Or perhaps he's a professional from Iron Fish? Not the UF. The truly powerful are always arrogant amidst the smoke of battle. But one thing was certain. He could be one of the chosen few. A contender for the title of world's strongest. Right up there with Anatol, the UF's greatest living legend. A small smirk played on Harang's lips as she tried to console herself. Right, only someone of that caliber would talk to me like that. Maybe he was genuinely curious about my skills. The viewers were completely lost. Huh? What is she talking about? Please don't say it's that guy. I guess that's that. A notification popped up. You have received a friend request. She clicked the message box and addressed her viewers. Hold on a second, everyone. I just got a friend request. The chat immediately exploded with curiosity. What is it? Who is it? Don't tell us it's a guy. If it's a man, bring out the pitchforks. Her eyes widened as she read the name. Then she screamed. Ugh! What happened? What is it? Why is she freaking out like that? Seriously, what could it be? The message simply read, accept my friend request. But then, something strange happened. Hey, swordswoman, what's going on? Why are you shaking? Harang trembled, struggling to contain the inferno of rage building inside her. This absolute bastard. She completely lost it, screaming in a frenzy. You changed your nickname just to mock me? I'll kill you. The friend request was from. I guess that's taken care of. Elsewhere, Duhok casually cleaned his ear with his pinky. Yeah? John looked at him, concerned. What are you doing? Let's go. Hurry up. He waved a dismissive hand. Ah, my bad. Is someone talking trash about me? My ear is burning. Jan stopped before a dead end, considering their path. We're almost there. The next boss is just through this iron gate. The viewers typed anxiously in the chat. Finally, the boss fight. Is the next one a murderer class? Dude, if there were two of them, that would be insane. She confidently manipulated a sequence of bricks on the wall. I read the strategy guide thoroughly this time, she thought. Out loud, she enthusiastically explained to her audience, if you press this specific brick, the wall will lift up to reveal a dark staircase. And that's how the path opens. Leading the way, she waved him inside. Come on. Her steps were steady as she ascended into the darkness. Just a few more steps to go. A massive metal portcullis blocked their path. Jan revealed a key piece of information. We'll come to these iron bars, and behind them is a prison holding zombies. See? The ones with the glowing red eyes. Countless zombies are packed in there. You can feel the aura of death seeping out even from here. They're the final gatekeepers protecting the murderer-class boss. But even the all-seeing eye can't see it? Everyone, hold on a second. Something isn't right. I don't see the murderer gatekeeper anywhere. A woman sat silently, hidden behind the horde of zombies. Huh? That's right. The murderer is supposed to be standing right in the center, isn't he? And that doesn't look like a normal zombie. As light flooded the room, the horrific scene was laid bare. There's an old woman in a wheelchair. What the hell? What is she doing in a place like this? What is this? What's happening? Jan recoiled in fear, grabbing his arm. Ugh! It took a moment for Duhok's eyes to focus. Is that Khloe? The old woman had withered skin and vacant, milky white eyes. Based on the reactions from Jan and the viewers, she must be the boss monster. Perhaps she's patient zero. The first to be infected with the mutated virus. Or something like it. He carefully weighed the situation from every angle. That would explain how she can control the other zombies. We've actually seen a case like this before. Some punk kid who possessed overwhelming power. After the initial outbreak, China splintered into 6 separate states. That kid declared himself king of one of them. All the undead in his territory were forced to submit to him. He had awakened an ability that resonated with the zombie virus itself, allowing him to command the horde. He commands the infected humans who've lost all reason, attacking on his command. With that power, he even dared to challenge Chen Tao, China's strongest hunter. The result? He faced a brutal death he couldn't even accept. Oh, that's right. He was utterly crushed by Chen Tao. That single event confirmed that transcendent-level hunters were immune to all toxins and viruses. A wave of nostalgia washed over him. Talk about a trip down memory lane. Duhok pointed, asking one more time. Still, that's the boss monster, right? A flood of teasing comments poured in. No, that's your wife. Actually, your ex-wife. Hearing that, he completely froze. What? She really is a monster boss. My ex-wife with the glasses is definitely the final boss. Dion held up a single finger. From what I know, if Khloe isn't rescued within a certain time, she ages just like that. The viral mutation had manifested as rapid aging. He found it completely absurd. Does that mean we were too slow? She asked, but he firmly denied it. No, not at all. In fact, we were incredibly fast. She turned to interact with her fans. Hey everyone, what's going on here? The audience was enthusiastic, but had no answers. We don't know either. Is this a game-breaking bug? Did the difficulty adjusting AI just go crazy? The user only watching game donated 1000 W, commenting, Isn't it because you haven't used the serum yet? The two brothers were mortified. Then, the viewers all started discussing it. Oh, right. So you have to use the sprayer to spread the serum and slow the infection? A vial of green liquid pulsed above the zombie's head. Usually, upon entering a hidden path, you're supposed to spray serum all over the map with the nozzle. They started mocking him, but the two workaholic brothers were blinded by the reward from Block. Duhok and John could only laugh awkwardly in embarrassment while the teasing continued. It seems they skipped extracting the serum entirely, maxing out the game's difficulty for themselves. A helpful viewer pointed out they could find a vaccine later to save Khloe. He scratched his face, completely flustered. Damn it. So I'm the one who made her turn out like this. The chat messages were dripping with sarcasm. That's right, you killed her, the ex-wife killer, my god. The old woman and the horde of zombies moved so slowly. Still, that's my ex-wife. You've aged because of the virus mutation, haven't you? Duhok let out a heavy sigh. And now, we have to defeat her? Good grief. What kind of twisted storyline is this? Jan's mind was always racing. Well, actually, Khloe was the source of everything from the very beginning. Hey guys, you don't mind spoilers, do you? The chat flooded with approvals. Not at all. This game came out years ago. What's there to spoil? Haha, the diligent female scientist at work. Actually, Khloe was a biochemical weapons researcher for a military organization. The mutant strain that caused all this chaos was created by her and her organization to develop a bioterrorist weapon. Khloe fled by car on a rainy night, trying to secretly smuggle the mutant strain out of the lab to sell it to a rival organization. She struggled toward the old mansion, but she was caught. She ended up hiding here while being hunted by her own people. And in the process, Khloe herself was infected by the very strain she created. After hearing the story, she clenched her fist, summarizing the main points. So, in short, Khloe is the mastermind who caused this whole mess. She's the origin of everything, and the host of the mutant strain. He nodded eagerly. All right, so to put it simply, we just need to take her down to clear the game, right? She was completely on board. Exactly. Duhok's fighting spirit ignited as he gripped his axe. Good. Then Dion, open the gate. We're rushing in immediately. She reached out and pressed the button. The confused viewers were completely lost. Wait, so are we facing the final boss now or not? The iron bars slowly began to rise. What gives? The killer isn't showing up? Streamer, explain. We don't know either. Don't ask us. We're just newbies at this difficulty level too. A dark shadow fell over his eyes, his gaze fixed on the approaching zombie horde. Let's begin. This is the moment you've all been waiting to see. With a weapon in each hand, Duhok let out a battle cry. It was an epic, chaotic dance of destruction. The zombies swarmed forward in a frenzy. Duhok sliced off their heads with clean strikes. This was the second wave of enhanced zombies, following the last one. He moved fluidly, attacking without pause. If this is their final stand, then the boss fight should be a piece of cake. Viewers commented non-stop as zombies poured in. But there are way too many enhanced zombies. It has to be at least double the last wave. Just one scratch could inflict a status effect. A special zombie sat in a wheelchair. No matter how skilled Master Duhok is, this seems impossible. Wiping out all of them and then taking down the final boss? A viewer reminded everyone as he focused on the relentless combat. But don't forget, our Master Duhok has the ultimate crowd control skill. His supreme technique, Tempest Pulse. It's Tempest Pulse. Duhok gracefully dodged a zombie's lunge. But using this move repeatedly in reality mode, instead of game mode, is a little risky. He lopped off their heads one by one as the horde swarmed him. Oh, right. Master Duhok gets motion sick, a superhuman body, but he gets dizzy just from spinning. It's almost cute. How is he supposed to wipe out this entire horde? Duhok gritted his teeth, his focus shifting. If the goal wasn't to eliminate the mob, but to take down the final boss, he launched a kick straight into a zombie's jaw. Using their bodies as stepping stones, Duhok vaulted into the air, easily breaking free. This was the path forward. Avoid the horde, find the shortest route. He flew straight toward the boss, weapon raised for the killing blow. It was time to end this by taking down the final boss directly. The zombie's eyes blazed a fiery red, crackling with power. Khloe unleashed a horrifying scream, and the shockwave sent everything flying, shattering the very ground. Duhok's jaw dropped at her incredible power. A single ultimate move from her had just obliterated half the building. The viewers watched in awe at the terrifying power radiating from the boss. This was Khloe's ultimate sonic wave technique. They tried to kill her but were annihilated instead. If you let your guard down for even a moment, Khloe's sonic attack is absolutely devastating. You were a good teacher. Just then, everyone noticed something moving beneath the pile of zombie corpses. Huh? Everyone. Look, in that pile of zombies. No way. Could it be? A single arm burst through, shoving the dead bodies aside. It was Duhok's arm. He rose from the carnage, holding Jian protectively, leaving the viewers completely stunned. Whew. Master Duhok almost died. I can't believe he blocked that attack using enhanced zombies as a shield in such a short time. He surveyed the decimated area. At least that blast wiped out the remaining mob. Now, only the final boss remained. A confident smirk appeared on his face. If I'm just careful about that last attack, I can take down the final boss in an instant. A viewer quickly reminded him, Hey, it's still the final boss. You can't just say you'll win that easily, can you? I'll say it again. Only you are allowed to do that. Suddenly, Khloe spewed a viscous slime from her mouth. A grotesque creature began to form, sending a thrill through the viewers. Whoa, it's finally starting. This is the final boss. Phase 2. Its name was Khloe, the black-faced bacterial tumor. A serpentine body appeared, but that wasn't all. Wait, where did it go? Damn it. 3 monstrous serpents materialized out of nowhere, shocking the audience. A final boss with 3 assassins, and he has to win with just 2 small axes? This difficulty level is insane. Jian couldn't believe her eyes and yelled, Are you kidding me? It's normally just 1. Why are there 3 now instead of 2? And that's on top of the final boss. Has someone lost their mind? A system notification popped up, stopping her cold. The difficulty AI had donated 1,000 gold since the beginning. I'm just thinking about destroying the one who forced me into slave labor. She could only stare, dumbfounded. Huh? Comments flooded in, mocking the AI. Haha, the timing of that chat is perfect. Duhok simply raised his gleaming axes, leaving the viewers in awe. Honestly, if I were the AI, I'd be furious too. Imagine watching someone clear your game without firing a single bullet and using only 2 axes. Let's see you overcome this one, human. She pointed toward Duhok, who now faced the colossal monsters alone. How am I supposed to get past this? This is ridiculous. Even if the final boss isn't that hard, those assassin-type special entities are a total nightmare. Ji-an started to lose her cool. Not to mention they turn invisible when they attack, which makes them even harder to deal with. A viewer offered a suggestion. National hip-hop champion June has donated 1,000 gold. Just shoot them with a gun. Their weak points will be exposed. That's how you clear the stage. Duhyok's expression turned grim as he closed his eyes and placed an axe over his heart. The chat began analyzing. But the problem is, we can't use that strategy here. There's an active mission. Melee weapons only. A viewer's comment made the siblings freeze. If that's the case, can't your sister just shoot them? Their jaws dropped. What? The commenter continued. Yeah, there's a reason the streamer hasn't fired a single shot this entire time. Ji-an picked up her gun, thinking to herself, yeah, that person's right. From the very beginning, I've let my brother do everything. I just need to hold back these monstrous assassins with this gun. Duhok walked over and placed his hand over her weapon. Ji-an. He angrily crushed the gun in his hand, leaving her stunned. Forget it. Don't get any funny ideas. She was utterly confused. Huh? Why? I just want to help you. Duhok pressed a finger to her forehead, his voice firm. The best way for you to help me is by doing nothing. She replied, are you still obsessed with that one mistake? I just want to help you. A viewer criticized, that mistake put a hole in Master Duhyok's forehead. The god of team killing. Ji-an furiously responded, shut up. You think I wanted that to happen? Duhyok just smiled to himself. Ji-an was probably just trying her best. Besides, this is just a game for entertainment. We should be enjoying it, right? He moved closer and said gently, all right, do you have those grenades we found earlier? She pointed to the grenades. Yeah, these? Duhyok hoisted a zombie corpse onto his shoulder. When I give the signal, throw one straight ahead. She gave a serious salute. Let's go, you can count on me. The viewers were instantly suspicious. I have a bad feeling she's going to forget to pull the pin. No way, don't raise a death flag. She clenched her fist with determination. Come on, at least I know how to use a grenade. He covered his mouth to hide a chuckle. That's right, Ji-an. Our guy is no fool. The viewer's comment made her scream in anger. But aren't you the one treating him like the biggest idiot here? She meant well, you know. Just stop it. Duhok fell into a ready stance. All right, let's begin. He surged forward in a blur of motion. The serpent monsters activated their skills. Invisible stealth mode, the assassin's domain. The boss battle begins now. Duhok seized the opportunity and charged. This is it. Jian decisively threw the grenade. Viewers were completely stunned as the grenade soared right over his head. Are you insane? Of all the places you could have thrown it, you aimed for Master Duhok's head? An explosion sent waves of agony through the monsters. Master Duhok, that's friendly fire, round 2. The Godslayer, Jian. Tears of regret streamed down Jian's face. I'm sorry, brother, my hand slipped. Duhok dropped to one knee. I'm fine, he answered sharply. Of course, I knew you'd do that, so I grabbed a zombie corpse to use as a shield. The viewers exploded with excitement. God-tier recovery. I may not trust Jian, but I always have faith in the Axe Slayer. Duhok, he roared back. That's right, put your faith in my axe skills. Duhok leaped into the air, swinging his axe toward the monster's head. Better than trusting that little sister of his, the comments cheered him on. We believe in you, master. Go, Duhok, go. He struck it right in the eye, causing it to shriek in pain. Assassin's eye strike, but it immediately flung him away. He was about to fall into another monster's mouth when the chat screamed a warning. Master Duhok, the Slayer is right behind you. Instantly, Duhok flipped in midair, successfully dodging the lunging monster. He raised his axe, preparing for a counterattack. He brought the axe down on the serpent's tough hide, but froze in shock. The axe. It didn't pierce through. An invisible serpent materialized behind him, catching him by surprise. Huh? Behind me. A translucent assassin. Duhok was sent flying. The assassin's stealth function was back online. It seemed to have recovered from the earlier explosion. The viewers analyzed the situation as he struggled to his feet. Even so, when it attacks or gets attacked, the invisibility still breaks. Isn't this getting a little too intense? How is he supposed to break through those hard scales with just an axe? Duhok grinned, a helpless smirk on his face. This is getting a bit troublesome, isn't it? See? Even you're stumped now, Duhok. He wiped his lip with his hand, his voice filled with excitement. It's troublesome, because it's far more interesting than I expected. The chat went wild. He's totally insane. Yep. This is the Duhok we all know and love. He charged back into the fray. Now, let's play for real. He analyzed the 3 serpent monsters before him. First, the one in the middle can't go invisible because its eye is injured. The other 2 are starting to cloak. Duhok thought to himself, among the alien species I've fought, some could alter their molecular structure to become transparent, by allowing all light to pass directly through them. Compared to those things, these 3 snakes are nothing. He closed his eyes. Let's begin. Tapping into that feeling I had when I annihilated those creatures before. Duhok flew towards the monsters, ready for a direct confrontation. He analyzed as he charged, 1 in front of me and 1 behind. He swung his axe, dodging the monsters and leaving the viewers speechless. No way. He dodged that attack? Is he even human? What kind of physical abilities are those? He climbed onto the head of the serpent. First, the one with the injured eye. Duhok raised his axe with all his might. But how was he planning to attack? His earlier strikes were useless against those scales. I'm not sure if the game developers would include this level of detail. He successfully landed a damaging blow on the serpent's scales, but if the developers are the type who pay attention to the little things, the viewers gasped. No way! The serpent's reverse scales. Holy crap, he was aiming for that spot? The attack made blood pour from its body. That's it. Strike against the grain of the scales. If I focus my attacks right here. He unleashed a relentless assault, making it scream in agony. For reptile-type monsters, all I need is 1 good shot. Khloe started casting her skill. Only Master Duhok could pull that off. Hey, if a normal person tried that, we'd die in 1 hit. There it is. The final boss's tentacle attack. Duhok leaped, dodging every single one. Damn it, he dodged it again. Suddenly, a serpent monster closed in from behind. Assassin behind you. He raised the axe in his hand. He slammed the axe straight down on the snake's head. Duhok jammed both his axes into its mouth, leaving the viewers baffled. Huh? What? He roared with every ounce of his strength. Air! The serpent's mouth was brutally ripped apart. Master Duhok is a madman. Such a crazy playstyle. What kind of timing is this? Another snake appeared behind him. The final assassin. The monster bit its own kind along with Duhok, making the viewers panic. Master Duhok, please be okay. He raised his axe, his voice steady. The greatest weakness of a reptilian monster is the inside of its mouth. And he leaped high into the air, bringing his axe straight down. The side opposite the scales on its back is its belly. Remember that. The viewers erupted in absolute euphoria. I knew you were still alive. The only one who can kill the god Duhok is the god slayer Jian. Duhok, I'm a dude, but I think I love you. The serpent monster falls. Now, only 1 remains. Damn it. Is this for real? The final boss. A bacterial entity named Khloe. Fueled by excitement, Duhok charges forward. He launches himself into the air 1 last time. He swings his axe, meeting Khloe head-on. Let's do this. The system window flashes as Duhok's bloody axe tears through the monster. Chi Washing Mine has donated 30,000. 1. We won. Jen Saper has donated 10,000 gold. This is absolutely insane. And it's only the 2nd day of P.H. A notification pops up. A 10,001 donation. Could Duhok truly be a god? Could he actually be a gaming god? Jian throws her hands in the air, running over as he wipes his sweat. Appa, we won. We cleared the game. The viewer comments exploded. This is crazy. Watching today's live stream was the best decision I've ever made. Anyone who missed this missed out on life itself. She beamed. Thank you for the donation. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Duhok stared grimly at the axe in his hand. He thought to himself. Just when I was starting to get into it. It's already over. Honestly, that Ultimate Fighter match was way more interesting. A look of genuine excitement crossed his face. Especially the fight with that black sword girl. Now that was thrilling. The sheer variety of attack patterns, the control of distance, and the psychological games. He felt it was a little too easy. Compared to that, these monsters with their instant kill moves are just too simple. With that thought, Duhok announced confidently. In any case, this one wasn't too difficult. A notification appeared. Black Sea has donated 100,001. You were on another level today. He looked up and replied cheerfully. Black Cock, thanks again for the donation today. At least we didn't get cheated on the quest rewards. As comments flooded in, his head snapped to the side. That damned mosquito is back again. He must have jumped in right after getting a taste of the viewer count. Is Duhok's game-clearing video already uploaded to Blackcock's channel? Was it edited in real time? The moment he cleared the game, it was already posted. They wondered. But why is Duhok's video on Blackcock's channel? Jian winked and explained, that's because we haven't created our own channel yet. In exchange for sending viewers their way, we agreed to upload this playthrough to Blackcock's channel. The system window popped up again, startling them both. Blackcock has donated 100,000 won. Haha, I'm out. Keep up the live stream. See you at our next collaboration. The viewers were shocked. Whoa, a collaboration? The two of you are collaborating? This is nuts. She quickly leaned in, pointing at Duhok. Oh, I forgot to announce it. This time, my Appa is live streaming with Blackcock. A curious viewer donated 1,000 won. You two are streaming together? They both clarified. No. This time it's just me and Blackcock, and the broadcast won't be on Jian's channel. It'll be on my own. Everyone grew curious. Oh, it's finally happening. What's your streamer name? Even Jian didn't know. Have you thought of a name yet? He replied. Not yet. I was just planning on using my real name. Hearing that, everyone started making fun of Duhok. If your sister is Jian Chu, wouldn't that make you Duhok Chu? Annoyed, he shot back. I'd rather use my own name than copy my sister. The chat immediately started teasing. Don't be a hater. This is what real siblings are like, Jian yelled angrily. What's wrong with you, Jian Chu? Duhok said gently. Jian, I think Jian Chu is a great streamer name. His face turned dead serious. But do I really have to say it? Duhok suddenly struck a cute pose, making her freeze. Duhok Chu is here. He poked his own cheek, causing her to practically spit take. Do I have to do this embarrassing act every time? She screamed. Stop it. That's so cringe. The viewers were horrified. I feel like I just witnessed something terrible. Please mark this as disturbing content. Duhok said seriously. So I'll just be using the name Lee Duhok. Jian covered her face, unable to look. My eyes are rotting. I can't see anything anymore. She quickly ended the live stream, pointing at him. Anyway, my Appa's official streamer debut will be tomorrow at 8 p.m. You can find more details on my Twitch profile. They both started to sign off. Goodbye, everyone. Oh, only one day until the debut. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you on the live stream tomorrow. Duhok Chu, how can I possibly wait until tomorrow? I'm just going to hold my breath until then. Time passed. The next day, Blackcock was chatting during his own live stream. Why should Duhok play Legend RCK next? I just want to watch it. At least you're honest. The people asking for Legend League are idiots. Am I the only one who wants to see Duhok destroy everything in Seoul? The chat chimed in. That game belongs to Lucy now. Why doesn't he just play the new Chrome game when it launches? He replied excitedly. As expected, Duhok really knows how to get people hyped. An incoming call from Duhok appeared on the phone's screen. Duhok, you saw the posts too, right? Yeah, I've seen them. He sighed. To be honest, I never expected it to create this much buzz. The other guy laughed with excitement. Ha, that's the kind of influence you have now, thanks to Eason Kin. Blackcock offered his opinion. Since you've already shown off your overwhelming skills, I think the main content for the stream should be games that display physical power. He wondered, what kind of game? The reply came, Rise of Valhalla. The game's epic scenery filled the screen. Rise of Valhalla is a game set in the 9th century, during the invasion of Anglo-Saxon England, waged by the great, savage horde of Viking warriors. On screen, characters clashed in a brutal dance of steel. Its main draw is its outstanding combat mechanics and brutally intense battles, which feel more noble on the battlefield than any other game. Blackcock looked at his phone screen, emphasizing, this is the perfect title to experience what I call Viking 2.0. It's also the most recommended game on the forums. What do you think, Duhok? He asked for clarification. Valhalla has both a standard mode and a reality mode, correct? The answer was, that's right, Blackcock declared with booming confidence. Honestly, when it comes to pure entertainment value, Valhalla is the perfect game for you. Duhok. He sat and listened intently. Your greatest strength is your physical skill, right? Valhalla supports both game mode and reality mode. Blackcock clenched his fist with a determined look. But most people can't handle the Viking-level physicality, so almost no one ever plays in reality mode. He imagined himself being slaughtered within the game. If you play in reality mode, you don't even need to face a boss-level enemy. In reality mode, even the early-stage Saxon foot soldiers are incredibly difficult to defeat. Blackcock complained, I challenged reality mode a few times yesterday and got absolutely demolished. Duhok replied. You challenged reality mode? How far did you get, Black Cock? He gave a strained laugh. After countless attempts, I barely managed to defeat a single, regular knight. But the very next one crushed me instantly. I wouldn't even call that a content spoiler. Duhok questioned him. But you performed pretty well back in Ultimate Fighter, and even you struggled against a single knight? Then for an average player, it must be nearly impossible. Blackcock scratched his head, laughing awkwardly. Ha ha, hearing you say that is a little embarrassing. I was completely defeated. He began to recall the past, an image of himself in powerful armor. Right before this, we had that one match in Ultimate Fighter. Duhok raised his hand, issuing a challenge, but Duhok will only get stronger. If I had won just one round, I would have immediately quit Alpha and never fight Duhok again. Blackcock charged forward to attack. His tactics were just so dirty. I would forever be the man who defeated Duhok in Alpha. But suddenly, in an instant, Duhok utterly overwhelmed him. I charged in hoping I could brag about that forever. Back in the present, Blackcock's belief in him was absolute. If it's this version of Duhok, he might actually be able to conquer the entire game. The reality mode challenge of Valhalla. Something even I could never complete. He stood up and spoke to Duhok. Only a select few have ever reached the end of Valhalla's reality mode challenge, and even they only passed after countless retries. Duhok listened in serious silence. But if it's you, without a single retry, I believe you can conquer this challenge. He also stood up and responded, I understand. It's 8 o'clock now. He started booting up the game console. If I want to be worthy of that faith, I need to try even harder. Duhok sat in his chair and prepared to enter the game. Ajin, can you hear me? On the other screen, Ajin appeared, giving a thumbs up. Yep. I can hear you loud and clear, Appa, he replied. Make sure to do a good job as my manager for the day. Duhok entered the game world. Alright, let's begin. Full dive connecting to the game lobby. He dropped into another space. Viewers spammed the chat. My king is here, Duhok. All hail God Duhok. All hail God Duhok. The gate is open. Hype, hype, let's go. Everyone was curious. What game is Duhok playing today? What are we playing? Not Diablo, right? Duhok raised a hand to greet them. Hey everyone. I'll tell you what we're playing in a moment. Diablo? That's a little. He pointed to himself. Alright. Does anyone have any questions for me? Everyone in the chat asked, who are you, really? What did you do before all this? Yeah, why are you so good at gaming? No, it's more like you're just good at fighting, right? Duhok scratched his face, trying to think of a reasonable answer. I saved the world as the strongest hunter and then regressed. Haha. Well, I can't just tell them I was trained to save a world that wasn't going to be destroyed anyway. He raised his hands with a strained smile and said, my past is a little complicated, so I'm going to have to skip that question. The viewers immediately responded in chat. Look at that. The way he dodged the question definitely means he's an agent for some intelligence unit. Yeah, he's gotta be special forces. Duhok excitedly held up a single finger. Alright everyone, there's something I wanted to ask, Duhok announced. I'm planning to make gaming the main content for my live streams. The game library popped onto the screen. Now, let's open it up. The viewers exploded with excitement. Whoa, ITQs and Ultimate Fighter? I've already mastered ITQs, so we'll skip that. Could it be Ultimate Fighter? The choice was a total surprise attack. A notification banner flashed. Isaac Pick King has donated 1000 WC. Hold on, are you seriously going to play Ultimate Fighter? Duhok gestured dismissively. Yeah, I played it a few times back when it was a buggy mess, so it brings back memories. What do you all think? The chat started roasting him. The great Duhok playing a trash-tier fighting game? Well, I guess he is Gen Z after all. If that's the case, just play Iron Fist. He hesitated. Everyone's reaction is just like Blackcock predicted. Is Ultimate Fighter really that bad? Jian chimed in. Oppa, Ultimate Fighter is totally obsolete. He turned to her. Huh, Jian? The viewers went wild. Whoa, Manager Jian mode activated. Jianchu is so cute. She explained. Ultimate Fighter is so bad it's known as the trash fighting game, or just plain trash. These days, Iron Fist is the #1 choice for fighting games. He rested his chin on his hand, thinking, okay, for now, it's probably best to avoid Ultimate Fighter on the stream. A new notification appeared. Upper has donated 1000 W. In that case, why not try the masterpiece, Iron Fist? Duhok replied, I've already decided on the game for today. Jian beamed as she looked at the rising viewer count. Appa, we have a ton of viewers. Let's start soon. The current viewer count was 2,245. He looked pleased. Wow, that's a lot of people. The chat was buzzing with awe. Is this guy really that good at games? First time here? This dude is on another level. Just you wait and see. Duhok planted his hands on the floor. Alright, let's start the game. Rise of Valhalla. He materialized in a new world, clad in a warrior's armor. Rise of Valhalla. Connection complete. Currently in idle mode. The viewers were hyped. Look! Valhalla? He was just talking about trash fighting games, and now he's suddenly in Valhalla? What a crazy plot twist. Duhok's avatar was a savage warrior covered in tattoos. Whew. So this is the Viking world of Rise of Valhalla? Valhalla is calling me. Jien pulled up a selection screen. Appa. Pick a mode first. Select mode, game mode, or reality mode. Duhok's answer was firm. I'll choose reality mode. The viewers were stunned. Whoa, a first playthrough on the hardcore reality challenge mode. Wow, this is gonna be insane. Time to get some snacks. The chat reminded him. Vikings mean dual axes, and dual axes mean the god, Duhok. He summoned 2 axes. Ah, that's right. They have dual axes in this world too. The excitement in the chat was off the charts. The dual axe frenzy is about to begin. He held out his hand to make an introduction. A pillar of light descended. Oh, and today we have a special guest. Black Cock appeared, flashing a peace sign. Everyone, it's Bora. The viewers were shocked. Whoa, Bora and Char Hans just showed up. Black Mosquito is online. One viewer grumbled, this guy is here to farm items again. He just gave a playful wink. Hey, don't hate on the mosquito, everyone. Duhok raised his hands to explain. That's right, as part of our collaboration agreement, Black Cock will bring his viewers to my stream, and in return, we will upload our collab video to his channel. A system panel appeared. Black Cock has attracted 2,427 viewers. Black Cock pointed upward. See that? I'm not just a mosquito anymore. At the very least, I'm a honeybee now, right? Jian appeared. Appa, look at this. Current viewers, 5,128. The viewers were absolutely astonished. This rookie is insane. 5,000 viewers on his first day is legendary. A monster rookie has appeared. Black Cock watched Duhok, calculating. That's right. This is how you build connections, one step at a time. If I build a relationship with the rising star Duhok now, he smiled slyly, I'll benefit immensely just by standing next to him. Duhok cut in. Alright, let's start the game. The system initiated the launch. Game start. Rise of Valhalla idle mode has been deactivated. Rise of Valhalla storyline. Opening cutscene. The scene opened on a longship, tossed on the waves of a massive storm. In the year 793, a horrifying catastrophe descended upon the sacred lands of Northumbria. A powerful man pointed his sword forward, commanding the fleet. They were known by a cursed name, Vikings. The place where Ragnar and his warriors made landfall was the coast of Northumbria. He fought until his last breath, surrounded by enemy forces. Ragnar fought his final battle against Aeya, the king of Northumbria. He had fallen into a trap and met a tragic end. The Viking roared, "You cowardly Saxons! This is not over. My death. If my sons hear of this, they will not stand idly by." He bellowed with conviction. "From the warrior's hall that Odin has prepared, I will smile as I watch your deaths." After his words, blood sprayed into the air. Valhalla. Back in the present. Rise of Valhalla. The warrior's recognition. A man with a hammer over his shoulder declared, "And so fell Odin's greatest warrior, our king, Ragnar." The speaker was Jorunn Thorenfast. The NPC Viking combat instructor began his lesson. Black Cock and Duhok stood within the crowd, listening intently. Fallen at the hands of merciless killers. Our mission is one of revenge and retribution. He declared that only those who earn a warrior's respect can be called true warriors. So who will be the first to become a warrior of Odin? Black Cock explains that in normal mode, Jorunn would just teach you blocking and combat basics. He analyzes the situation. But here, in realistic mode, you must earn Jorunn's acknowledgement just to qualify for Valhalla. A viewer chimes in. Also known as a warrior's recognition. Basically, realistic mode is for veterans. Newbies should just shut up and stick to the normal game mode. He raises his hammer forward. Black Cock then steps up boldly. "I'll go first." The viewers immediately question him. Is Black Cock using dual axes? Is he trying to copy Master Duhok? This is going to be hilarious. He just smiles confidently. You all know I took down a knight with a sword and shield, right? Even if dual wielding is hard, it's just swapping a sword and shield for 2 axes. One viewer seems convinced. Well, Black Cock is naturally talented. He might actually pull this off. Black Cock stands before Jorunn. That's right. Besides, I've challenged realistic mode in Rise of Valhalla before. The old warrior smirks. Dual axes. It's been a while since I've seen a foolish rookie brave enough to hold a weapon in each hand. He raises his own weapon, issuing the challenge. Allow me to teach you the proper way to use those. Bring it on, rookie. Blackcock instantly closes the distance. That rookie nickname? I'm going to make you take that back. He swings his axes, strategizing. Dual wielding is difficult, but its unpredictability is a huge advantage. Yorun calmly parries the attack. Trying to bait my defense with your first strike, are you? He scoffs. This attack is far too weak. Blackcock switches his grip, bringing an axe straight down to exploit an opening with a combo. In a flash, a fist is already at his cheek. Yorun slams Blackcock straight into the ground. A viewer roars. Wrecked. Haha. He struggles to get up, coughing in pain. Ugh, damn it. Another viewer mocks him. Ha ha ha. What did you expect, trying to dual wield from the start? Yorun looks disappointed. Humph, how boring. You're no warrior. You're better off in a kitchen somewhere. The chat explodes. Ha ha ha, go be a cook is brutal. For your information, by Viking standards, that's a worse insult than cursing his entire family. The old warrior bellows out a challenge. All right, who dares to step up next? A viewer comments, haha, what a legendary trash talker. Du-Hai-Uk walks over. Are you all right? Blackcock answers angrily. Cough. Did he just tell me to go be a cook? Du-Hai-Uk Nim. Is my dual-wielding style really that terrible? He answers decisively. No. Blackcock's face lights up. Right? I knew you'd understand. Du-Hai-Uk Nim. Du-Hai-Uk adds coldly. Well, it's not like calling it terrible would change anything. His words hit like ice water, sending the viewers into hysterics. Ha ha ha. He's more savage than the NPC. My man just speaks the truth. Terrible? No, that's an understatement. No, you're a complete liability, he continues, clenching his fist. Besides, all you did was get hit. Blackcock yells in agony. I know, just stop talking. The chat is loving this. Haha, stop the cyberbullying. Du-Hai-Uk looks at the two axes. Honestly, dual wielding looks cool, but in practice, it requires extreme precision and control. He lets out a small sigh. If you'd watched me play It Takes Two, you might understand a bit better. The guy replies, defeated. I did watch it. Oh, for hours. I even practiced until my muscles ached. Du-Hai-Uk sheds a single, dramatic tear. Oh, the viewers are having a field day. Ah ha ha ha. Oh my god, this guy is insufferable. Ha ha ha. Blackcock, you have zero talent. He covers his mouth, patting the guy's shoulder with fake sympathy. Keep it up. Even if you're a total noob, just keep trying. The chat piles on. Even his It Takes Two gameplay got called noob tier. Ha ha ha. A notification appears. User, Just the Facts has donated 100,000 gold to Du-Hai-Uk Nim. Show us how a real pro does it. Ha ha ha. If you beat Yorun Gogo, Blackcock swallows his pride. Fine, I'll just hold my tongue. Du-Hai-Uk's eyes light up at the notification. Oh, is this our first quest? A flood of notifications follows. User Tigo the Disciple has donated 100,000. I'll add this to the quest pool. User Destroy Yorun has donated 30,000. I'm in too. User Viking Style has donated 30,000. Ho ho. Du-Hai-Uk is confused. Thanks everyone. But is beating Yorun really that difficult? Blackcock confirms it. It is. Yorun is a retired former captain of the Berserkers. He watches the old man fight. Even in the mid-game, he's insanely strong. Yorun effortlessly cuts down his challengers. Hehehe, that didn't even tickle. He finishes his opponent with a look of disappointment. How dull. I don't want to see any more of this. Yorun clenches his fist and roars. Alright, which one of you wants to be next? The viewers start arguing. User Critic Fan has donated 100,000 gold. I'm placing my bet too. Even Yorun can't win against Du-Hai-Uk. Win? In your dreams. The only loser here is going to be you. Ha ha ha. Du-Hai-Uk calmly interjects. Now, everyone, let's not fight amongst ourselves. He picked up his axe. If it's just about winning, then that's too simple, isn't it? Let's see here. He pointed his axe at the old man, leaving him baffled. If I win, Du-Hyuk declared with absolute confidence. Within 10 seconds, then we'll consider this mission complete. The chat window exploded with notifications. The user Critic Fan has donated 50,000. Alright, let's see you try. But 10 seconds? Is that even possible? The user Du-Hiu has donated 100,000. Yorun goes down in 10 seconds. Go, go, go. The user Lipjuice has donated 50,000. Isn't this basically a guaranteed win for us? Haha, the viewers couldn't believe it. Yeah, this is too safe of a bet. Yorun isn't Black Cock. He can last at least 10 seconds, right? Black Cock explained in utter frustration. No, you guys. Before, it was just because I wasn't used to the dual axes. If I used a sword and shield, I could take him down in 3 seconds flat. The viewer's mockery was getting on his nerves. Maybe he'll last 5 seconds? Ha ha ha. Ah, seriously. Yorun finally spoke up. So you use dual blades as well? The old warrior held out his hand in a challenge. Fine then, come at me, kid. Let's see if you're worthy of wielding them. Duhok raised his axe and launched it forward with unbelievable speed. The old man calmly blocked the attack. Throwing your axe right at the start of the match, Duhok closed the distance in an instant. He swung his other axe in a direct assault, forcing Yorun to defend. The old warrior smirked with approval. So the axe throw was just a feint? You've got some skill, boy. Duhok recalled his axe, analyzing the situation. He blocked that? It seems he's completely different from before. Considering his last fight with Black Cock, his technique isn't bad at all. Duhok thought seriously to himself. Could it be that he learned and developed tactics based on combat data? What's that called again? Reinforcement learning, he observed the old man. There are definitely going to be more NPCs out there even stronger than Yorun, but the experience I've gained through countless life or death battles is on another level. He took his stance. A powerful aura began to radiate from Duhok. First, I need to take this guy down. The old warrior spoke up. Not a bad aura. Yorun took the initiative, lunging forward. Let's see if your skills can match that presence. Duhok blocked the attack with his twin axes as the old man unleashed a relentless barrage. Whoa, he was sent flying back. In terms of raw power, Yorun still had the upper hand. Duhok immediately switched his stance. If that's the case, he used his foot to stomp down on his opponent's weapon, needing to break his chain of attacks. Ugh! His foot slammed down on Yorun's weapon, completely locking it down. With the old man thrown off balance, Duhok seized the opportunity to attack and leaped into the air. He delivered a powerful kick straight to the old man's chin. That's just the opening move. Gak! Yorun grabbed onto his opponent's pants. Yorun gritted his teeth in fury. You wretched little brat. As Duhok charged, he raised his weapon to strike. Die! Duhok was flipped upside down. The old warrior lifted him into the air, preparing to throw him. But Duhok countered, planting his feet on the old man's back. Gak! Yorun grimaced as he turned his head. This punk! An axe blade was now pressed against his neck. The match ends here, he announced. The quest window appeared. Mission successful. The crowd went wild. Huh? That was insane. Whoa, that was crazy. He really finished it in 10 seconds? I'm in total shock. Notifications flooded the chat window. The user Disciple has sent 10,000. Damn it, I believed in you the whole time. The user Duhok Chu has sent 1,000 gold. Don't tell me someone actually bet against him thinking it was a safe bet. Ha ha ha. He looked up with a smile. Thanks, everyone. Yorun approached him with high praise. Ha ha. That was a painful blow indeed. I thought I was looking at a son of Odin himself. Black Cock was stunned. Being called a son of Odin is the highest honor for a Viking. The viewers were completely amazed. Did Yorun really just say that? Ha ha. Our Saint Duhok truly is the best. Then came a surprising question. The old man asked, Warrior blessed by Odin, what is your name? He answered clearly. Guna. Guna was the main character's name in Rise of Valhalla. A truly Viking-esque name, Yorun remarked. A notification appeared. Yorun acknowledges you. A new quest has been generated. Quest received. Odin. He is frenzy itself, the god who governs war and grants the strength to fight against one's enemies. Quest assigned. Guna. This great warrior is worthy of the admiration of all fighters. Perhaps the blood of a king, like the god Odin himself, flows through his veins. The quest notification took him by surprise. Warrior's target acquisition. 1 of 5 confirmed. Wait, a new quest just popped up. The viewers went wild. Whoa, it's starting right now? Unbelievable. Even Yorun is issuing quests now? Blackhawk couldn't believe his eyes. Hey guys, nobody knew about this before, right? The viewers buzzed with excitement. Yeah, I don't think so. This is a world first. I've never seen anyone get a quest from Yorun before. Duhok wondered. Is this a rare quest? Maybe? Blackcock was incredibly excited. That's right. It's not a main quest. It's a hidden side quest. But not just anyone can get it. Its official name is the Ison Quest. When a player is acknowledged by 5 great warriors, he explained, they'll receive the title Son of Odin. Duhok listened intently. After all, the Son of Odin title is what separates the pro gamers from the casuals. Blackhawk raised a finger, stressing his point. This quest has definitely appeared before, but I've never heard of it showing up in the tutorial zone. Yorun stood in silence, his arms crossed over his chest. Others had defeated Yorun in the tutorial area before, but this was the first time anyone discovered he was an Osan quest giver. Duhok analyzed the situation. The clear time itself must be the trigger for this hidden quest. Since Duhok finished Yorun in 10 seconds, the window must be between 10 and 30 seconds. Defeat Yorun in that time frame, and the mission appears. Duhok stroked his chin thoughtfully. So, there's a time limit, huh? But as the notification popped up, Blackcock exploded with rage. User Moro, the Black Pig, has sent 1000 W. Some players get called the Son of Odin right from the start, but after all his playthroughs, Blackcock was still just the kitchen scrub. The humiliation was absolutely legendary. Ha ha ha, a kitchen orc, ha ha ha. He tried to defend himself. Hey, it's not because I suck. Dual wielding is seriously hard. You'd know if you tried it. Duhok is just an unreasonable monster. Duhok patted his shoulder, adding, Blackcock is right. If you don't have the talent for it, you shouldn't even touch dual wielding. Blackcock froze. Wow, Duhok was really twisting the knife. I'm not saying you have no talent, Blackcock, but for dual wielding specifically, you're just not gifted enough. The viewer's mockery made his face turn purple with rage. Ha ha ha, how is that any different? We've said it a million times, Blackcock. You've got no talent. Ha ha ha. Another one crying about natural gifts. He sobbed. Damn it. Then, he drew his sword in defiance. Fine. I'll accept it when Duhok says I have no talent, but I won't take it from you guys. Blackcock equipped his sword and shield. This time, I'm using my main weapon set to earn Yorun's acknowledgement. The viewers howled with laughter. Ha ha ha. Look at him. He brought out the sword and shield. The sword and shield combo is totally OP. Haha, yeah, fighting a boss without a shield is just suicide. Duhok gave a half-hearted cheer. You got this, Blackcock, the viewers jeered. Ha ha ha. Why does that sound so insincere? I've never seen such a soulless cheer in my life. Haha, the constant attacks from the chat left him feeling completely helpless. Let's see what kind of pathetic show he puts on. He cried out in frustration. Stop messing with me. I'm about to go into battle. A comforting notification appeared. User Ziphole has sent 1000 W. Actually, Blackcock is one of Valhalla's top 5 players. That's right. The gap with Duhok is huge, sure, but Blackcock isn't bad at all. Hearing this, Blackcock's spirits lifted. See? Now you're finally acknowledging me. But another viewer shot him down. Yeah, but it's still fun to trash talk you. Ha ha ha. So just shut up and fight. Fueled by their taunts, Blackcock's determination burned even brighter. Damn it. Just you watch. I'll prove I'm just as good as Duhok and make you all eat your words. Yorun raised his weapon with a sneer. Ha ha ha. Finished your milk and came back for a rematch? Bring it on, kitchen boy. As he charged, Blackcock yelled his classic line, just watch. I'll shut that mouth of yours. The comments flooded in. Uh-oh. This scene looks familiar. Yeah, it's an exact repeat of last time. Blackcock is doomed. It's like watching a preview for next week's failure. Even against Blackcock's all-out attack, Yorun easily blocked it. After parrying, he instantly lunged forward with his axe. Too weak, he scoffed. To break my defense, you need a much heavier blow. Yorun's words echoed with a devastating punch. But using his agility, Blackcock ducked under it by a hair's breadth. With a shout, Blackcock swung around and slammed his shield into his opponent's back. Even so, Yorun just grinned with excitement. Huh? That's more like it. You need that kind of spirit. Then, he decisively drove his knee straight into Blackcock's stomach. Now this is getting fun. The blow knocked the wind right out of him. Yorun seized the opportunity, leaping high and aiming his axe downward. Let's have a real fight. But Blackcock was still coughing, struggling to recover. Luckily, his defensive instincts took over. He managed to block the ferocious assault. Using the momentum from the clash, he threw all his strength into shoving Yorun back. He used his shield as cover to slash at Yorun's throat, but Yorun was far faster. A wild grin spread across his face. Haha, not bad. Fueled by bloodlust, he retaliated with a powerful fist. It slammed into his face. But you're still too green. Realizing he was just being toyed with, Blackcock screamed, Damn it! I am Blackcock of Valhalla. Yorun just chuckled. Meanwhile, Duhok and the viewers were getting excited. He's actually doing pretty well, that Blackcock. but still, it's a bit boring. Maybe it's just because he's fighting right after Duhok. Watching on, Duhok came to a conclusion, but you have to admit, with a sword and shield, he's a different person. His spacing is better, and his shield work looks much more natural. Just as Duhok finished his thought, Blackcock was slammed to the ground with a sickening thud. Without a moment's hesitation, his opponent pressed the sharp axe blade against his carotid artery. Backlit by the sun, Yorun stood over him and declared, "This is the end." The threatening gesture made Blackcock curse. "Damn it!" However, Yorun continued, "But after you changed weapons, you'll do, I suppose." A system notification confirmed it. "Yorun acknowledges you." With that settled, the old man turned and gave his command. "That's all for today. Everyone is dismissed. You've all worked hard." As Dohyuk helped him up, Drek let out a sigh of relief. So, he'd finally passed Yorun's trial. But suddenly, the old man called out to him in Dohyuk. "Hey, you two! Are you confident enough to go on a hunt?" A thought flashed through his mind. Ugh, this has to be a quest. Meanwhile, Blackcock eagerly shot his hand into the air. "Of course we're confident, sir. I'm actually a pretty big shot with a bow. Ha ha ha." And just like that, they were officially given the job. Good. Then join the hunting party and bring back some food. The two of them shouted in unison. "Yes, sir, understood." A system message appeared. "Preparing for camp and hunt. 0 out of 5. Night fell, casting an eerie silence over the area. When the progress bar hit 4 out of 5, Blackcock asked excitedly, "Aha! Is this next one a rabbit?" He knocked an arrow, then noticed something. "But Dohyuk Nim, you've just been watching this whole time. Hyung, have you never shot a bow before? Magic arrows." "Yes," he thought to himself. He answered honestly, "I've used a toy bow a few times, but this is my first time with a real one." An idea immediately sparked in his mind. "In that case, Hyung, you should try a practice shot. Aim for that tree right over there." Following his friend's gesture, Dohyuk agreed. "Sounds good." As he pulled back the bowstring, he muttered, "First, a deep breath. Then, align the shot perfectly." The moment he let go of the string was the moment he remembered the final step, fire. His arrow zipped forward, only to be met with his companion's laughter. "Pfft, what was that?" "You missed," Duhyok could only mutter. "Ah." Thankfully, a viewer in the chat chimed in to help. "This is amazing. There's actually something you can't do, Hyung. It's totally normal to miss if you've never shot before." That snapped him out of it. "Oh, right." He tried to reassure himself. "I'm sure I'll get the hang of it after a few more tries." Behind him, Blackcock was still cracking up. "Wow, so there really is something you're not good at. Do-hyuk Neem. Don't you worry, I'll teach you, Hyung." He puffed out his chest and declared proudly, "For I am the Robin Hood of Valhalla, the one and only Blackcock. If you don't know how to shoot, just trust in me. Do-hyuk Nim." The viewers were enjoying the show. "Ha ha ha, look how happy he gets when it's something he's good at. But doesn't he still miss 3 or 4 shots out of 10? Not that Blackcock cared one bit. Hey. Still, hitting that many is pretty incredible." Suddenly, Dohyok's keen senses picked up a presence. A large animal had just wandered into their sights. Blackcock gasped, shoving Dohyok's face aside. "Whoa, is that a deer, Dohyoknim? Move it, move it." Annoyed by the rough push, Dohyok grunted. The deer continued to graze calmly on leaves, unaware that it was being targeted. The bow, a weapon that takes ages to master. Now, it's time to unleash the archery skills I've forged in Valhalla and countless other medieval games. The moment he let the string go, the arrow shot forward with deadly force. 1 shot, 1 kill, and yet, the arrow only grazed the deer's head before burying itself in a tree. The chat exploded with laughter. "Ha ha ha. 1 shot, 1 kill? More like 1 shot, 1 miss. Laugh my ass off." Another viewer quickly pointed out, "Hey, the deer is getting away." Blackcock instantly drew his bow again, giving chase. "Hey, wait." He was still confident he could make the next shot count, but his time was up. Duhyuk's moment had arrived. Real or not, get out of the way. He stepped forward, winding up and hurling the heavy axe. With a single, satisfying thunk, the axe cleanly decapitated the prize. The viewers immediately went wild. "Ha ha ha. Are you kidding me? He took down a deer with a thrown axe? What kind of skill is that?" Even Blackcock was stunned. "Huh? How is that so cool?" But Dohyok just gave a small smile. "It wasn't that hard. You just predict where the prey is going to run, and throw the axe there." The chat lit up once more. "Ha ha ha, easy," he says. "That's right, this guy's axe throws are legendary. The trick to throwing an axe is to throw it accurately." Just then, A system notification popped up. Quest complete. Preparing for camp and hunt. 5 out of 5. It then updated with a new objective. Linked. Quest. Ambush. Blackcock yelled out in a panic. Huh. Duhok nim. A linked quest just popped up. The details flowed in. Saxon soldiers were targeting the Viking base. And what's more, a group of Vikings had just departed. At most, only about 10 defenders remained. One of the enemy soldiers gave an order. Garrett, this is our chance. Go inform the captain. The other soldier replied instantly. Roger. Keep watching them. After receiving the scout's report, the Saxon forces, led by the elite warrior Carol, decided to launch their attack. He rallied his troops, his voice booming. Those Viking barbarians are eyeing our territory. Send them all straight to hell. Both players stared tensely as the system window updated. Enemies are targeting the base. Return to camp before they arrive. Blackcock let out a sharp, "Oh." Once the scenario was laid out, a countdown appeared. Time remaining until the ambush. 7 minutes and 59 seconds. This made Dohyok's brow furrow. Humph. So the real game finally begins. Just then, a new notification flashed on screen. Twin Axe Murderer has donated 1,000. Kill them with an axe. 5,000 for every head. You in? How could he possibly refuse? Sounds good to me. Thanks for the quest, Twin Axe Murderer Nim. Breakcock quickly cut him off. Then, let's hurry up. I know the way, just follow me. But Leo was suddenly confused by his words. Go back? Go back where? Breakcock asked, bewildered. To the base, of course. The longer we wait, the more Vikings die. Leo simply pointed out the problem. And? We're going to ambush them on the road? You seriously didn't think of that, did you? Duhok had to spell it out for him. Of course not. Each kill is worth 5,000 gold. Letting the Wei Jing clan get them would be a total waste. Black CCK couldn't believe this insane idea. Duhok Nim, they're attacking with at least 20 guys this time. Are you saying the two of us are going to take them all out? The wealthy patron from before seems quite pleased. Killer Twin Axes has donated 1,000 gold. Haha, this guy's mindset is on another level. Another viewer added, but to earn 5,000 for each kill, Key has to finish them all with his axe. Haha, you mean he's planning to solo all 20 of them? The comments exploded with excitement. Wow, we just started and it's already this entertaining. Ha ha ha. That was all the convincing he needed. Alright then, let's move out. Black CCK shrieked in panic. Wait, you're actually going through with this? At that same moment, with the Crimson River squad, Carol was giving careful instructions. Everyone on high alert. We're almost at the enemy's base. But then, the unexpected happened. Something bright suddenly shot through the air, striking the lead soldier in an instant. Before he could react, a shield slammed into his head with a crack. Carol immediately ordered his troops. Regain your composure. Form a defensive perimeter. When Duhok and Black CCK finally revealed themselves, the soldiers scoffed. The Wei Jing clan sent only 2 people? Facing his enemy, their leader just taunted them arrogantly. You absolute fools, what do you think 2 guys can possibly do? But Duhok was already charging head-on, taking Black CCK by complete surprise. Hey, don't just rush in so suddenly. As for Carol, he felt no fear hiding behind his men. You two have some serious guts, don't you? Everyone, attack. The Crimson River squad roared in unison. They had no idea that to him, they were just a mountain of gold. Ha ha ha. First come, first served. Before he was even close, his axe flew through the air, smashing into an enemy's sturdy shield and making him cry out. The moment Duhok was in range, he drove an elbow into his jaw without a second thought. Another enemy fell, just as the thrown axe returned to his hand. With his weapon back, he became even more ferocious, cutting down his opponents one by one. Suddenly, a soldier saw an opening and tried to land a sneak attack on Duhok. Die! But it was useless. Duhok dodged him with ease. Not only that, he spun around and delivered a punch so powerful it caved the soldier's cheek in. To make sure, he followed through with the same devastating force, knocking the enemy out cold. All the man could do was let out a final, agonizing scream. Duhok's sheer ferocity made the commander flinch and grow wary. And yet, he still dared to shout something utterly absurd. Can't anyone stop this monster? A new comment popped up in the chat. Hey, you. Are you just going to stand there and not fight? The message finally snapped Black CCK back to reality. Ah, right. I'm on it. If he was going to fight, he had to pick the strongest target. This time, by defeating the elite warrior Carol, I'll prove my own strength. Meanwhile, the viewers couldn't stop praising Duhok. Wow, in just a few moments, he's already taken down 6 of them. He's a beast. After his relentless assault, he wondered, does this count as a Hawk King achievement? I wonder if Black CCK is even fighting properly. Just as he thought that, he heard a desperate scream. Wait, wait! Ugh, Duhok Nim, save me. But Duhok just calmly reached a conclusion. Black CCK Nim seems to be doing just fine. In reality, Black CCK was screaming for his life. You crazy bastard, save me now. The comment section exploded with laughter. If he can still breathe, he's still alive. Ha ha ha. He's on death's door but he's trying his best. Cheers, ha ha ha. Black CCK needs to at least carry his own weight. Seeing his partner getting pummeled, Duhok couldn't care less. I'll use this chance to thin out their numbers first. He completely ignored his companion. Hey, you son of a... Seizing the moment, Duhok was distracted. An enemy lunged for a sneak attack. Die. But the Crimson River soldiers were no match for his speed. He dodged effortlessly and cut his opponent down in a single motion. It wasn't just that one soldier. The others became mere stepping stones on his path of destruction. Every single one of his swings landed. They were left completely unable to react. At that moment, he looked exactly like a grim reaper, using his axe like a scythe to harvest their souls one by one. The ground was littered with those he'd attacked, while the few he hadn't targeted yet were simply frozen in a state of shock. Even if they tried their best to watch him, they couldn't possibly keep up with the terrifying speed of his axe. Even the viewers were left breathless. Holy crap, Duhok just wiped the floor with them. Now there are only 6 left. He stood over the bodies of his enemies, deep in thought. The remaining soldiers, their faces pale, stared at him speechless, leaving the chat confused. Why do these NPCs look so scared? If I were in their shoes, I'd probably have wet my pants by now. Duhok panted, confused. A game where NPCs can actually feel fear? He suddenly considered another possibility. Wait, are they planning to run away? But Carol, still struggling with Black CCK, saw their fear and urged them on. You guys, don't be afraid, get in there and fight. Unfortunately, none of his soldiers could withstand the terror. They dropped their weapons. We can't do it. Then, without a word, they turned and began to flee in droves. They screamed as they ran. Run for it! That guy's a monster! If we stay here, we're all going to die. The sight of the enemy fleeing in chaos stunned the audience. Huh? They're scattering. But there was no way Duhok would let them go. I can't let them escape. He swung his arm, and the axe tore through the air with immense force. It not only flew with incredible speed, but it cleanly took a man's head off, terrifying the soldier running right next to him. The man couldn't hold back his tears, letting out a scream of pure terror. Arr! One by one, they were reaped by his deadly axe as the comment section exploded. Whoa, such a clean takedown. Yeah, there's no escape. Just give up. Haha. A viewer then raised a good point, but he's out of axes. How's he gonna catch them now? Unexpectedly, he reached for the arrows on his back. Let's try the bow this time. Everyone was stunned. Huh? A bow? So, is the axe mission over now? Leo focused, drawing the bowstring taut as he replied, No. This is all part of the plan. He aimed, pulled, and released. He let the arrow fly, just as a new comment popped up. Wait, isn't his archery skill complete trash? And just as predicted, though the arrow flew with immense power, it only grazed the enemy's side. The viewers instantly burst out laughing. Ugh, called it. Haha. What was that? Were you even aiming? Yet Leo remained perfectly calm as he prepared for another shot. I get it now. The cold tip of the arrow once again found its target. Alright, let's try a serious shot this time. The chat was completely unconvinced. Haha, just give it up, dude. That's not how you use a bow. But their words meant nothing to him as he released the string without hesitation. The first man went down. To everyone's shock, the second arrow actually pierced a soldier's thigh. The viewers were in disbelief. Huh? Leo looked incredibly confident as he immediately knocked another arrow. I've got his leg targeted. The next arrowhead sank deep into another enemy's flesh, causing him to scream out in agony. Every single one of his following shots hit its mark perfectly, making the viewers suspicious. Don't tell me he missed on purpose. These living targets could only scream helplessly in pain. Ah, the viewers were speechless. Holy cow, he actually hit them all. Before his opponents could even react, Leo charged forward with his axe, kicking one of them to the ground. Faced with such a terrifying presence, the man could only beg for his life. Please, please spare me. So that was his plan. He only shot their legs to set them up for the axe's final blow. Just then, he noticed another enemy, trembling as he tried to crawl away. Arg! As Leo turned around, the man flipped over and screamed with a hoarse voice, Don't! Stay away from me. but his fleeting fear was quickly replaced by excruciating pain. Arr. In the end, the majestic forest was filled with nothing but the final cries of the invaders. He wiped them all out, Leo mused to himself. That was easy. The viewers could only marvel. He mastered it after just a few shots? Are you kidding me? Did he reincarnate as an archery god or something? Insane. One viewer was still confused. But his aim was terrible just a minute ago. How did he get so overpowered all of a sudden? Leo simply replied with a question of his own. Archery? You just need a few shots to get used to it. But absolutely no one believed him. Who's gonna fall for that line? Haha, yeah right. Such a liar. Totally. Haha. Leo paid them no mind. Now, only Carol is left. That's when he finally noticed Breakcock screaming for his life. Whoa, I'm gonna die. Leo, don't just stand there watching. The enemy seized the moment Breakcock was distracted. Where do you think you're looking? Luckily, he managed to dodge just in time. The viewers were quick to mock him. Oof, what a graceful fall. Breakcock shot back. Oh, come on. It wasn't like that. Meanwhile, his opponent continued his relentless assault, gritting his teeth. You cowardly rat. Breakcock barely managed to parry, shouting in frustration. Arg. Leo, give me a hand here. But faced with his desperate plea for help, Leo just stared blankly. Huh? Breakcock's blood was boiling. He needed Leo to move. Are you deaf? Help me. At that exact moment, the shield Breakcock always relied on shattered under the enemy's blow. Even the sword that was supposed to save his life couldn't withstand the force and snapped in two. The commander immediately swung his blade for the killing blow, roaring with hatred. Die, you Viking! In that life or death moment, Breakcock could only weakly raise his hands to shield himself. Ah! But luckily, Leo dashed in just in time, deflecting the blow and saving his life. Being interrupted at such a critical moment only enraged the commander. You bastard! Yet Leo remained composed, fluidly spinning his body and trailing a strange arc of light. But that spin was just building momentum, allowing him to deliver a single, decisive strike that sent the commander's head flying. The moment the commander, Carol, fell, with a system notification immediately announced, Raid mission complete. The comment section exploded. He solo carried the whole team. That was insane. Bro, I need to go change my pants. Meanwhile, Leo turned to his companion. You okay? Breakcock was still coughing. Cough. I'm fine now. He wiped his mouth and complained, Why didn't you help me sooner? But Leo just grinned. Ah, sorry about that, Leo said. I didn't think you needed any help. His answer left Breakcock utterly baffled. Huh? Leo pouted, trying to explain. Well, people usually get mad if you steal their monster kills. Besides, it didn't even look that dangerous. His words only made Breakcock angrier. He yelled back, What? If that wasn't dangerous, then what is? Leo quickly tried to clarify his point. Well, you have to at least lose an arm, or maybe have some of your organs spilling out. Hearing that, Breakcock's blood began to boil again. No, that's just called being dead. But Leo just poked his fingers together awkwardly. But, at least a punctured intestine or something? This brutal honesty was just too much for Breakcock to handle. Just say so if you don't want to help. But before he could answer, a group rushed forward, shouting, Gun! Breakcock's eyes lit up in recognition as he suddenly yelled, Hey, Yorun! But his greeting was brutal as he grabbed the kid by the head and ruthlessly shoved him aside. Get off me, the boy grunted. But all the man's attention was focused entirely on Gun. Are you okay? Are you hurt anywhere? Duhok was stunned. Yeah, I'm fine. Even after that rough treatment, he still tried to get noticed. Hey, Jorun, I'm over here too. However, his only reply was a series of kicks from the Vikings Guna and Jorun. They completely ignored him, taking turns to check on their friend. There are no more enemies nearby. Guna, are you injured at all? All that was left was a miserable, forgotten Duhok. Cough. What in the world? I think I'll just log off for today. Seeing their worried faces, Gun finally spoke. I'm fine, but is Breakcock Nim all right? By the time he looked, the boy had already logged out. The old man paid it no mind. Forget him. What's important is that you're safe. The audience howled with laughter. Ha ha ha. Why do I suddenly feel so bad for that kid? But Gun just played along, his mind already churning with other thoughts. So, is the tutorial finally over? I heard this is where the world opens up. He looked toward the sky and wondered aloud. Now then, what should I do first? Right on cue, a system notification appeared. Eclipse has bet 500,000 won. If you defeat Stone Fist with your current gear, I'll add another 500,000. Time remaining, 11 minutes and 59 seconds. The viewers exploded with excitement. Whoa, a 1,000,001 bounty. Just like that. He just started and already has a massive sponsor, but Gun's focus was only on the money. Whoa, I have no idea who this buff is, but for 1,000,001, I'll give it everything I've got. Joran overheard him and quickly asked, "Wait, you're really going to fight Buff? You can't possibly win alone." Gun cried out in confusion. Huh? Unexpectedly, the old warrior compromised. Very well, I will lend you a hand. The system updated instantly. Companions can now be recruited. Guna was still confused. But what's the advantage of having a companion? The viewers immediately answered for him. It means if you blow a horn, they'll appear to help you. With that explanation, Guna saw no reason to refuse. I get it. All right then, let's go, Captain. The old man smiled, pleased. A wise choice. And just like that, the quiet forest was once again filled with the sounds of adventure. Prepare the horses. Yes, Captain. Their steeds galloped without rest over the rocky path, leading them straight to the enemy that awaited. As they rode, Gun asked, "So who exactly is this Buff guy?" The old warrior confirmed his name, Stone Fist Buff. He then began to tell his story. He was once a Drenger who served the king, but after the king's passing, he lost his honor. A Drenger, the Viking word for a mighty warrior. The old man's face was clouded with discomfort. Rumor has it he now pillages villages somewhere in the Sussex region. More information about their opponent was quickly being revealed. He may have lost his way, but Buff was once one of the greatest warriors of the Ragna Knights. Not only that, he fought as if he were blessed by Odin himself. A warrior like him could be led back to the path of Valhalla by you. At the same time, the system chimed in. Current objective: earn a warrior's recognition. Find Buff and be acknowledged by him as a true warrior. This sent the comment section into an uproar. What's with this quest that predicts the future? Whoa, a new quest popped up at the perfect time. As the two rode to the edge of a clearing, the old man reined in his horse. We're here. He pointed toward the sprawling territory ahead. That is Buff's lair. He then handed the main character a small trinket. I have some history with him, so I will wait here. If you need my help, blow this horn. Gun nodded without a trace of fear. Understood. I'll go on ahead. Then he spurred his horse straight down the slope, taking the viewers by complete surprise. Huh? Wait. Don't just charge right in like that. They tried to stop him. It's full of bandits in there. But he rode forward, right into the bewildered stares of his enemies. Huh? The sheer number of them made him wonder. Does this mean I have to defeat all of them to find Buff? The viewers quickly offered a suggestion. Maybe just sneak in and assassinate Buff to clear the mission? But regardless of his confidence, the guards at the gate were already in position, shouting, "Halt! Stop right there." But he was already several steps ahead of them. Besides, a true Viking warrior never attacks from the shadows. The men inside heard the commotion from the gate. Huh? It all happened in the blink of an eye. The tribe's main gate was suddenly trampled beneath his horse's hooves. The entire camp immediately sounded the alarm. We're under attack. Guna instantly went on the offensive, using his bow and arrow to suppress them. The two closest men dropped without a sound, arrows buried between their eyes. Gah! A fleeing bandit was silenced by an arrow straight through his throat. Ah! Those who were still standing grabbed their spears and urged each other forward. Kill him! Stab him! And then, his horse became their first target, brought down by a swarm of blades. But as they focused on the animal, Gun launched himself into the air, twisting and drawing his bow. A volley of razor-sharp arrows flew forward simultaneously. Before his enemies even had time to react, they were struck down. Gurgle. By the time he landed gracefully on the ground, his opponents had long since collapsed. As he prepared to rise, a bandit behind him froze in absolute terror. At the next defensive line, the remaining warriors quickly got into position. Damn it, shields up! Seeing their cautious formation, Gun simply smiled. Shields, eh? In that case. He casually tossed the bow he had just used to the ground. It's time to get rid of this coward's weapon. His familiar axe was back in his grip. He aimed the weapon at their faces and declared, "I'll wipe you all out with this." Both citizens and guards. They charged forward in unison, screaming for his head. Duhok stood alone, ready to solo all of them. As the enemy attack descended, he swiftly dodged to the side, preparing to swing his axe. A single slash instantly took down one man, and Duhok plunged deeper into the enemy's formation. Though his movements were blindingly fast, a guard with orange hair managed to thrust his sword while maintaining his defense. But Duhok used this to his advantage, cleverly hooking the axe blade onto the shield, then violently throwing both the man and his defense aside. He seized the opening, swinging his axe down in a devastating arc. Another enemy's head flew off in a state of pure terror, but danger lurked behind him. Another swordsman was attempting a sneak attack while he was distracted by the bastard. However, Duhok instantly sensed the hostile intent and reacted just in time. Using his own powerful frame, he charged like a bull, grabbing the man and slamming into him. Seeing this, his comrades immediately gave the signal, and the archers raised their bows. Fire, fire. But Duhok took no damage, having turned his previous attacker into a living, human shield. The arrows rained down, piercing their own ally. He took that chance to charge forward, relentless and tireless. The enemy commander could only shout panicked orders. "Keep firing," he screamed, ignoring the agonizing cries of his own men. Duhok decided to hurl the meat shield directly into the enemy line. They quickly dodged to avoid the impact, one even finding time to taunt him. "Who the hell do you think you are, trying that trick here?" But of course, empty threats never worked on him. In the seconds before, Duhok had already dispatched the two men blocking his path. He charged directly at the commander, swinging his axe in a single strike that left the man critically wounded, hovering between life and death. Duhok had no intention of showing mercy. His next blow was meant to send another soul to the afterlife. Using the last of his strength, the man screamed for his leader to save him, and as if on cue, an axe suddenly flew through the air at incredible speed, its trajectory perfectly intercepting Duhok's attack. It successfully saved the man's life. A moment later, the ground trembled with the sound of powerful, imposing footsteps. Judging by his aura and tone of voice alone, you could tell this was no ordinary opponent. It ends here. The once silent comment section suddenly exploded. "Is the boss here? He's here." The man was overjoyed, as if seeing his savior, and began to stammer out a report. "Leader, it was him. He barged in here." But before he could finish, Duhok's axe silenced him. "Shut up. Let me show you what happens to villains who talk too much." Even the boss was startled by his absolute lack of respect. "You little brat." Duhok stood tall, fearlessly issuing a challenge. "I don't have time for this. Let's fight. Come on." The leader felt utterly disrespected by his defiant expression, and his blood began to boil. "You damn bastard." In an instant, he launched himself like a rocket, leaving no afterimage behind. "You're tired of living, aren't you?" The distance between them closed in a flash, and a deadly aura slammed into Duhok's face. "I'll teach you the meaning of regret." And yet, Duhok remained perfectly still, making no move. On another live-streamed battle, a swordsman had already fallen, but the steel-fisted fighter still stood firm, his fighting spirit blazing. A system notification rang out, announcing Anatol's victory. He casually greeted his audience, as if the fight had been nothing more than a warm-up. "Whew. Hey everyone. It's been a while, hasn't it?" The comment section buzzed with the excitement of seeing their idol. "Anatol, why have you been away for so long? Oh my god, it feels like forever since we've seen Anatol. We missed you so much." A loyal follower even realized, "This is your first stream since the Iron Fist World Tournament a few days ago, right?" Anatol freely admitted it. "Yeah, that's right." The audience could feel the effort he had put in. "Such a shame. You only made it to the semifinals this time." Another person asked with concern, "Are you doing okay mentally?" Anatol gave a slightly sad smile. "I'm okay now. I took a few days off to get back in shape." Remembering the memories of his glory days, he unconsciously clenched his fist. Back in the Ultimate Fighter era, whenever someone mentioned the World Championship, Anatol was the first name on everyone's mind. Snatching the World Champion trophy was like a daily routine for him. Anatol felt a sharp pang in his heart. But now, in this Iron Fist tournament, even though he had just won, how lonely did his silhouette look, standing in the middle of that arena. After all, the furthest he'd ever gotten was the semifinals. But Anatol shook it off instantly. There was no way he was backing down. He put on a smile for the crowd, just like always. To reignite his original fighting spirit, an idea sparked within him. Maybe I should go back home for a visit? His fingers danced across the virtual screen. The system displayed. The screen lit up. Ultimate Fighter activated, but his viewer count was plummeting, from 31,345 down to 23,129, and then to just 17,041. The viewers still sticking around started to comment, "Whoa, look at that drop. The view count is tanking. This game is dead." But Anatol didn't seem to care one bit. "Man, how long has it been? It's gotta be almost a year since I last played Ultimate Fighter." He snapped his fingers in the air. "Time to fire up my alt account, Hoken." A notification popped up. "Fighter Hoken, enter the stage." His character's costume and interface instantly changed. Anatol was hyped, ready to face some other players. "Alright, time to find a match. Computer, start matchmaking." The system began searching for a game. Meanwhile, in a house with its lights still blazing, Jan's excited voice echoed through the room. Whoa! The reaction is as explosive as ever. Look at this, look! The viewers' comments were just as hyped as she was. Oh my god, watching the highlight still gives me chills, ha ha ha. The final edit looks like a genius-level highlight reel. It's unreal. The video's view count had already hit 102,000. The comment section below was blowing up. That parry was insane. How is that not a special skill? It's not a skill. It's all pure mechanical talent. Jan squinted, staring at the screen. They've already made memes of it. Slash, stab, slice. But the man himself showed no reaction at all. She suddenly turned and pointed at herself. At this rate, you probably don't even need me for views, right? The more popular you get, the more polished you have to be. Got it? Duhok just smiled calmly, not nearly as worked up as she was. Yeah. It's all thanks to you, January. You worked hard managing for Oppa today. She stretched her arms and let out a huge yawn. It was nothing. Well, I'm heading to bed. You should get some rest too, Appa. But as if he didn't know the meaning of tired, a new idea sparked in his mind. It feels like a waste to sleep now. Maybe I should try Iron Fish? That game is trending right now. But Duhok quickly dismissed the thought and walked to his room. Nah, I'll stick to the plan. Grind to Celestial rank in Ultimate Fighter. Just one more win to reach Grandmaster, right? He muttered to himself while checking his phone. That player, Little Black Sword, was never online in his friends list. Don't tell me she quit the game. Once Duhok sat in the gaming pod, he pushed everything else aside. Whatever, let's go. Computer, activate full dive. The system announced the user was entering the game lobby. His body began to transform as he entered the virtual world. A new notification appeared. Ranked mode, searching for opponent. Finally, a match was found. Duhok was a bit puzzled looking at the screen. The nickname read, First Noodle Eating Contest Champion, and the description below it was even stranger. First Noodle Eating Contest Champion. 0 wins, 0 losses. Decline or accept. He repeated it aloud, forming a theory. 0 wins and 0 losses. Duharder's Anno must be an old account that hasn't logged in for ages. But Duhok didn't overthink it and hit accept. Well, let's just see what happens. On the opponent's side, a notification appeared. Opponent's name. So strong. Record. 21 wins, 0 losses. Anatol was reading his opponent's basic info. His username is, so strong? Whoa. A 100% win rate. He made his own guess. Must be a Grandmaster or a Celestial rank player. Could be a Smurf account of someone I know. The audience chimed in with their own theories. Maybe it's that Anything Goes guy from Little Black Sword's stream the other day. Isn't that the Plays Anything guy? Ha ha ha. Anatol wasn't as up-to-date as his viewers. The Plays Anything guy? Who's that? The chat was quick to fill him in. A mysterious master who destroyed Little Black Sword on stream, and then vanished like the wind. I watched that live. His skills were insane. I laughed so hard my jaw hurt. Ha 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 ha. Just mentioning the topic made the viewers start comparing them. On the forums, someone said he customized his character to look like Beyond. Another person shot back, don't just make wild guesses. This little debate successfully piqued Anatol's curiosity about his opponent. Oh ho, is that right? He quickly smashed the accept button. So, another hidden master wearing a mask, huh? Let's see if you can keep up that performance against me. A notification flashed. Fighter Hoken enters the battle. Anatol's fighting spirit ignited. There he is. The mysterious master. He clasped his hands, staring intently at Duhok. Let's see if I can guess your true identity. He immediately settled into a textbook martial arts stance. Come on, let's have a proper duel. Suddenly, Anatol froze, confused, as his opponent called him out directly. Duhok's fearless fighting aura burned even hotter than his. He even gave a provocative wave of his hand. So, why don't you make the first move? The chat was loving this. The tension is insane. A battle of wills right at the start. Anatol's brow furrowed into a smirk. Aren't you underestimating me a little? In the next instant, he shot from his spot, moving so fast the viewers barely registered it. I'll make you eat those words.